ever hear the tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Rizzler?
No.
I thought not. It's not a story the betas would tell you. It's a Sigma legend. Darth Rizzler was a Mog Lord of the Sigmas. So powerful.
Boy. Okay. Well. Oh yeah, also, by the way, guys, if you're listening right now, I mess with the audio. So I don't know how good my volume is. I might be too loud. I'm definitely not going to be too quiet, that's for sure. So you got to tell me. I don't know if you're hearing those beeps, if they're incredibly loud beeps and you're freaking out right now, but anyway, I'm relying on you guys to let me know if the audio is terrible, basically. Well, wait. I just saw the title, I'll Kill You, Elite RE. True. We'll get to that, okay? Oh my god, I didn't watch the Great Black Sails reaction on the Minecraft trailer yet. Well, I've already seen the trailer for Minecraft. We're going to talk about it a little bit. Are you getting sleepy? No, I'm not at all. We can't be up all night anymore. Yes, we can. We aren't young anymore. True. He's late. Don't tell me. No, don't let him tell you that. Don't let him. I was early, okay? I was perfect. Oh my god. Wait a minute. I'm going to mess with this audio because it's getting very loud. Okay, wait a second. If only I had wired headphones and I could like... Uh-oh. Okay, now we're back to normal. Ay. Now I gotta go hear it. What do I sound like? No?
I thought not. A legend. Powerful.
Well. Oh yeah, also, by the way, so you gotta tell me. I don't know if you're hearing those the Great Black Sails reaction on the Minecraft. True. He's late, don't tell me. I didn't tell you that. Don't let him. I was early, okay? I was perfect. Oh my god. Wait a minute. It's so interesting. Because when I said this here, also I know you guys don't care about this, but I care about this, okay? Do that. When I was very loud here, and we aren't young anymore. True. He's late, don't tell me. No, don't let him tell you that. Don't let him. I was early, okay? I was perfect. Oh my god. I technically peaked. Like, we lost some information there, okay? But for some reason, it sounds fine to me. So, I don't know. We're keeping it like this for now. Next time, we'll experiment again. Okay. He's going to be contrarian and say Minecraft looks good. I don't know. Am I? I don't think I have a strong opinion on this. Everyone sounds terrific. Elite Ari, that's good. Oh, everything. It's so interesting. If he doesn't, I will Milidori. Anyway, let's just watch it. I've already seen it. Minecraft trailer. And then we can get to the other things we need to do. Is this the actual thing? You know, I may have seen this a while ago on stream when it was leaked, but maybe I didn't. I wouldn't admit to that, I guess. But let's have a look.
Right this way.
Kind of looks like Minecraft. That looks terrible, but you know what? It's fine.
What the hell?
Anything you can dream about here, you can make.
Who are you?
I am Steve. Okay.
This guy is such a tool bag.
Oh boy.
Right this way.
Well, wasn't that great? April 4th. Can we all admit this shot, the lighting looks really good, right? Like, just, this looks so good. It looks like photoreal. Isn't that crazy? I truly have nothing to say. This is clearly not a movie intended for me. This is a children's movie. I don't have any strong opinion on this beyond saying that it's definitely not for me. But you know what? I can imagine being a child and finding great joy in this. And apparently she's famous. This is every single time I see this on TikTok, the first comment is always about her. And she's like, oh my gosh, I can't believe she's in this. And I'm like, I have no idea who this is. But yeah, pretty crazy. What else have I realized? People aren't a fan of the fact that the blocks are different sizes or something. I don't care. Okay. I think visually it looks fine. But it's obviously not for me, you know? Anyway. So interesting. If he doesn't know Miller, don't worry. I haven't seen it. Well, there you go. Apparently you've seen it now if you're watching it with me live. I will be there day one. Looks horrendous. Okay. True cinema. Wait, I just noticed the title. What was the title? A Minecraft movie? What's wrong with that? That's fine. But Miller says it's terrible. Oh, horrendous, sorry. Wait, no. He said even that's terrible. There's no way this doesn't make $1 billion. I don't know about that. Maybe. This truly feels like a kid's, like a for kids movie. This doesn't feel like a Pixar movie where it's like, oh, you know, it's like a family movie. This is like a kid's movie. Like, you're not gonna have any older people who are gonna watch this, right? I mean, I'm sure you will, because Minecraft has like a big fandom of people gonna watch it ironically or whatever, but no one's gonna go watch this and be like, oh, I can't wait to see a good Minecraft movie as like an adult, you know, like about like this style. But who knows? There's a lot of kids out there. Maybe it'll still make a lot of money. It probably will. Miller's a tool bag. What is a tool bag? It's like some censored way of saying like douchebag or something. I don't know. Look at him defending it. Not for me. You've put 1 billion hours into the game. It's definitely for you. That is, it's not. Millie, you're the problem. You're part of the problem here. How do you think this is? Okay, maybe I am just so disconnected from how marketing works and everything. But do you think this is marketed for me? You think the types of humor that they put in this is like, oh yeah, this will really get like the 20-year-olds involved. Like they'll love this. They'll love when she calls Steve a tool bag. They'll love when the llama is like chewing and like gets distracted or whatever, or like getting ready to spit or whatever. People are gonna love that. Is in their 20s. I don't know. You can have multiple adaptations of things for different, like, you know, audiences. And obviously, this is for kids, which I don't see anything wrong with. It's not for me. Minecraft like Mario for kids and not for adults like me and Elite RE. No, the game I think is for all ages, obviously. But this movie is definitely not. Like the Mario movie is for 5-year-olds and I loved it. That doesn't mean that... Okay, I don't know anything about Mario. I have no idea. But you can have a movie targeted for kids specifically, and you can have a movie that's targeted for all ages, right? And they're two different things. I think this is very clearly, from the types of humor and the things that are emphasized in this, I think this is very clearly for kids. But who knows? Maybe as you get more trailers, and maybe if they talk behind the scenes more about the like intended audience and stuff, maybe it actually will be for all ages. And yeah, but just based on this trailer alone and not having read any like behind the scenes or anything, this definitely feels like it's just for kids. Jack Black was born to play the great Steve, was he? I don't know. Steve doesn't... And also, I'm sure there's like Minecraft lore out there, and I'm sure there's probably some people who are mad about that. I don't know anything about the Minecraft lore, so I don't know. Or maybe this is like really lore accurate. I truly have no idea. I can't imagine that's the case though. Miller is always part of the problem. Not always. Sometimes when Miller's on your side, he's on your side. You know, it's a great feeling. But often he's not on your side. Excuse me. Target audience, literary target audience. That is the takeaway here. If I can get anything in the head of my audience here, it's that target audiences are important. I'm saying it's possible to be for kids and also be enjoyed by everyone, and it should be targeted at a wide audience because it's Minecraft. I completely disagree. I think that from one base property, which is the Minecraft franchise, I think you can spin off multiple different movies that are each targeted in, like, they're all different independent movies, not made by the same people, not starring the same people. They target different audiences and they can coexist and live happily in the cinematic landscape. I don't necessarily think that this movie existing means that in the future there can't be one that is targeted for all audiences, like you're saying, or even one that's targeted specifically for an older audience. I just think that the first approach they chose to make an actual movie seems to be for kids, and I have no problem with that. But yeah, I don't necessarily disagree with you when you say that it's possible for it to be kids and also be enjoyed by everyone. I completely agree. But that doesn't mean that every movie that is for kids has to be for everyone. Anyway, and it should be targeted, yeah. I played the great Minecraft story mode. I know the lore. Is that canon? I have no idea. That's the true Minecraft movie. If it's actually just for kids, it's extremely stupid for a Minecraft movie. I don't know, maybe, I'm sure like financially it's stupid, but I don't know. Maybe they just want to make a fun movie for kids. I have no idea. Did you see Notch tweet saying he liked it? That's really funny. What a guy. What a history this man has. My goodness. I don't know what I'm going to look for. Does he's still, I was going to say, didn't he like delete his Twitter a few years ago? But no, I guess not. Why does it? Oh, I'm logged in. I forgot. Damn, I should follow Notch. Well, yeah, I probably should. I should follow Vsauce as well. Oh my gosh. Oh my god, look at all these people. I really, the Gogscast, I know them. Ay, ay, ay. When did the trailer come out? Oh, here? Okay, I'm in. Wow, this is a weird feeling. I don't know. It's got to be a weird feeling considering he like made the game initially, but I don't know if this necessarily means he likes it, but kind of cool. Miller's on my side in the great Mushoku Tensei. That's not true. Miller can't have an opinion because he hasn't seen it yet, okay? I mean, he can have an opinion, but it's just not going to be informed, you know? What was the box office of Jumanji? I feel it's the same movie. Was there like the new Jumanji with The Rock or whatever? No, Wikipedia. I don't know anything about that movie, but no, is this not it? No, that's the original one. Was it? I assume you must be talking about like a more recent one. Box office, yeah, like $1 billion. Actually, let's compare it. Jumanji. How do you spell it? Jumanji trailer. Let's see if it seems. Let's see what vibe I get from it. 7 years ago? No way. Oh no, 5 years ago.
Wow, this is a fun group. Welcome to detention. Spencer, Bethany, Fridge, Martha. You're all here for a reason.
Hey, person walking.
You should be thinking about who you are and who you want to be. You'll have plenty.
Okay, already. I don't know, this seems like a much older audience, but I don't know, I guess we'll see.
Time to figure that out while you're cleaning out the basement.
Are you gonna help or are you too pretty?
I'm too pretty.
Yo, what's this?
A game for those who seek to find a way to leave their world behind.
Wait, am I watching the right thing? Yeah, I am, right? Welcome to the jungle?
Jumanji. You pick a character and you're that person in the game.
Which one do I pick?
I don't think it...
Wait a minute. That's not the girl from Under the Dome, right? There's no way, right? I have no idea what her name is. Wait, Under the Dome? Nori? If that is, I'm just a genius. I picked that out so well. I know it's not, right? God damn it. Okay. I tried.
Which one do I pick?
I don't think it matters that much.
Moose Finbar. Sounds like a badass.
I'll be the curvy genius.
Dr. Smolder Bravestone.
I guess I'm Ruby Roundhouse.
I mean, even just like saying the word badass, having these like kind of scary visual effects, I think this is automatically already for an older audience. This isn't like necessarily a kid's movie. This feels more like an all ages kind of movie so far, at least. Yeah, I don't know, but maybe the subsequent Minecraft things will be we'll get more insight as to the actual movie. I bet Notch, yeah, I bet Notch is back on X because of the great Elon. Yeah, maybe. Notch is extremely weird. He replied to everyone who responded to that tweet. That's just called good engagement, okay? He'll blow up on Twitter like that. The Rock was in Jumanji, so of course it made a couple billion. Yeah, maybe. And Heath is here dabbing. I feel like oh no, as soon as I saw Heath, I was like, I feel like I have to say something. But no, the great Heath is at least he read the first volume of Mushoku Tensei, so everyone clap for him, please. Elite Ari, I watched Under the Dome when I was like 10. Jesus. I can't remember. I mean, I think like 14 or something, 15, I don't know. Watched the Mario movie trailer, clearly aimed primarily at kids, but it still appeals to me and other Mario heads. What's the movie called? Oh, Jesus. I know there's like a few Mario movies. Oh, why can't I type? Mario movie. This one, I'm assuming? I don't know. I'll wait here. Let me know which one, Miller. Me and all the little homies loved the Minecraft movie. You and Bacon spoiled me on Mushoku Tensei. Can you believe it? No, we didn't. You are reading into things too much. Yes, this one? Okay, let's have a look. Also, I don't know anything about Mario, so, you know, I'm not gonna know anything.
All right. Let's go. Oh my god. Okay. Not sure if you know who I am, but I'm about to rule the world. Wow, yay. But there's one problem. There's a human, has a mustache, just like you.
Do you think I know every human being with a mustache wearing an identical outfit with a hat with the letter of his first name on it? Because I don't.
Bowser is coming. Together, we are going to stop that monster.
How? Look at us. We're adorable.
Oh, I got this. No problem. Yes!
Come on, Mario! Our big adventure begins now!
Ah! Get it off! Get it off! Get it off!
There's a huge universe out there with a lot of galaxies. They're all counting on us. No pressure.
Okay. So this is an interesting comparison, right? And this just makes me feel more like yeah, this is actually really interesting. Firstly, it's a lot longer, so there's a lot more like context to actually give to the trailer. Now I want to rewatch it and see why I actually had that strong of an opinion. Because this is clearly like, I don't get the same vibe here. Like, this, to me, doesn't feel... This feels more like a Pixar, like, all ages kind of movie. But why did this one not? Now that I'm trying... Now that I see, like, what is in this. Like, this definitely feels like an all ages movie. But it feels very similar to the Minecraft one as well. Let's watch this again.
The hell?
Anything you can dream about here, you can make.
Who are you?
I am Steve. Okay.
This guy is such a tool bag.
It's definitely the humor. The humor's the thing here. I'm not going to be able to describe this. I have no idea how to explain this. I'm sure hopefully you guys can explain this in the comments. You can write this out, chat right now and explain what I'm trying to say. But the jokes in this, I can imagine a kid laughing at. The jokes in this, I can imagine anyone laughing at. Okay? Now please, someone, what am I trying to say here? Why is it so obviously different? Like, say for instance, there's like quiet moment, right? Where they're like, oh, we're so adorable or whatever, which is like a joke, right? What the hell was this?
Going to stop that monster.
Like this is gonna be, it's one of those scenes where everyone, it goes quiet and you have like, you wait for a joke, right? Ready?
How? Look at us. We're adorable.
It's not even the same because it's like the non-diegetic music of the trailer is cutting out. But then you compare it to like the tool bag thing or whatever.
Okay.
This guy is such a tool bag.
I don't know how to explain it. This is the kid's joke. This is a joke for all ages. Okay? And I don't know why, but that's just how it is. It's like, we're going to define it that way. Okay? That's my definition. Anyway. I think that's enough of Minecraft for now. Thanks for watching the whole trailer, Relito. I really appreciate it. You're welcome. We want to get the most context we can. Oh wait, there's way more messages before that. Jesus. Yes, Mario's the red one. Yeah, I know the basics. Luigi's the green one. Isn't that Wario? I know Wario. That's like his brother or something, right? Greatest film ever made. And the big... yeah, I think I'm assuming it must be this movie, but Bacon talks about it in his video, right? Or Bacon and Friends, you know? That's like the extent of what I know.
And then
we got some Orbiter videos to talk about, but we'll get to this, okay? But yeah, there was a Mario movie in this. Or was it they just... Oh yeah, this. Here we go. You know, I watched this video. So I know some stuff about this movie. I love the uwu Marvel humor. True, we love Marvel humor. I hate Chris Pratt so much. Alright, well, I have no strong opinion on him. Greatest tragedy was that Brandon James... Oh, Jesus. Brandon James Scott's Mario song got ranked down by Nintendo. I lost all hope in Mario IP. Well, an Emmy Award-nominated animation director and illustrator. Good for him. Alright, no idea. Thanks for watching the whole trailer. Yep, you're welcome. One is a good movie, one is a bad movie. Miller, we don't know that yet, okay? We'll see when it comes out. It's because it has live-action kid protagonists. Yeah, maybe the humor is different because it's being executed by live, like, real people or whatever. Like, you can get away with jokes if these were animated characters, but they're not. Even then, I don't think that's the case. Like, this joke at the end with the llama or alpaca or whatever. This is also, like, a kid's joke, but I don't know. No, actually, I don't know. We'll think about this. I am Steve, true. Kadoosh, yep. It's cringe. Cringe is a good word, I guess, for this Minecraft one. But the cringe is not necessarily what I'm trying to say, I don't think. I think it's like the, I think it's like you have to put yourself in the writer who's writing this movie. And think like, when they're writing a scene like this. Like, who do you think they're writing this for? Like, do they think that, like, what is the humor here? I think the humor is, like, the kid, you have, like, a 5-year-old watching this movie, and they're like, oh, look, the llama's doing something goofy, and then they, like, get shocked by these people, but then they go away, and then he, like, keeps chewing or whatever. It's like, that's funny for, like, a 5-year-old, but I don't know, if you're older, I don't know why anyone would laugh at this. Like, why would a writer who was intending for this movie to be for all ages, why would he write a scene like this? It just doesn't make sense. Something like that. I don't know. Standard isekai. True, I guess it is an isekai. Crazy to think about. We all get it, Elidari. Miller just will always reduce it down to the thing he likes good and the thing he doesn't like bad and obscure everything else. They're different vibes. True, they are different vibes. Genius. I feel like something aimed only at kids is something like Star Wars Young Jedi Adventures. Both of these are at least trying to appeal to all ages. So what do you think is, like, when you're watching this trailer, what is it to you, Miller, that makes you think that they're trying to target... Well, no, you're saying they're failing because they're not targeting an older audience or something, right? Or are you saying that you feel like when you watch this, you're like, oh yeah, they're targeting an older audience as well? Because I don't see anything in this where I'm like, oh yeah, obviously. But I don't know. O is here saying sup. Hello, O. The editing in the Minecraft trailer is terrible. The timing is all over the place. I don't necessarily disagree. Alright, I'm sick, fix me. Minecraft is random and weird, whereas Mario is cutesy. It's a baby movie for babies because Mojang is stupid. Oh boy. I don't know, there's probably a big audience out there for a big market for a younger audience. a Minecraft Muley trailer. What did I think? Let's see what this random person thought.
Hello, this is Stampy, and welcome to a...
I don't want to know. I just want to see his thoughts. Where does it end? We're not watching the trailer a fifth time.
normal for comedies.
Wait, no. Oh, he's talking about the comedy.
Around with the characters that are in the scene. That may have been a stylistic choice. Like, they are going for a very bright, colourful look here. So they're kind of, you know, there's not much shadows on the characters' faces in general. You know, it's quite evenly lit, their faces, which is normal for comedies. But I do think it is contributing to the fact that the characters don't look like they are part of the world.
Wow, crazy. The fact that it has Jason Momoa and Jack Black clearly there for adults. Kids don't care about celebrities? Okay. So, okay. There's a few things going on here. Firstly, I don't know much about celebrities, so I could just be wrong. But firstly, isn't Jack Black is like a comedy guy, right? Like he's been in comedy movies before, I'm like pretty sure. So putting him in a kids comedy movie, I completely understand that. Like, even if it is just intended for kids, having Jack Black in it makes complete sense to me, right? Like, I don't think that necessarily means anything. Now, Jason Momoa is kind of interesting, and I think I get what Miller's getting at here, which is that having big names associated with a project, you do that because you want to draw in a larger audience. And necessarily, if you want to draw in the largest audience, you would target a movie for all ages. So saying that you're including famous actors here, I would discount Jack Black because I would perfectly see him in like a kid's movie, like casting him for one intentionally. But casting Jason Momoa and that famous girl apparently who was like really famous on TikTok at least. But that's not necessarily that relevant. I guess casting Jason Momoa, you're saying that it reveals their intention that they want this to appeal to a broader audience. I just don't know. I don't know enough about like celebrity castings in kids' movies. Like, I guess to you, Miller, or to anyone here who agrees with Miller, what is an example of a kids movie? Something that is directly targeted at kids, like a well-known kids movie. Successful, like well-known and directly targeting kids. Because if this doesn't qualify, I just wonder what does, you know? Now kids care about their celebs. I don't know. I have no idea. Anyway, we've spent enough time on this, okay? We have some videos. Also, before this, I'm going to close my window, okay? Because goddamn, it's cold. All right. Over the Hedge. Is that a kids movie? I think I've definitely seen it. Like, are there famous actors in that, you think? I guess as like a comparison. I have no idea. And also, if this came out in 2006, who knows how famous these actors would have been anyway, but how would you even look at the actors on this? Would there be a list of actors? Why did I say Over Hedge? Why didn't I type Over the Hedge? I don't know, is Bruce Willis, is that like a famous actor? Like at the time, surely, right? Steve Carell, whatever. William Shatner? I don't know. But this, again, this isn't like a live action thing. This is voice actors. But it's the same thing here, right? Where it's like, you would want to cast a famous actor here because it would want to draw in a larger audience. I don't think there's any kid out there who's like, oh my gosh, William Shatner. I can't wait to see him. But I don't think this necessarily means that they're targeting an older audience. But I don't know. Maybe it is. I haven't seen this movie. Maybe it might be like... I mean, I have seen the movie, but I haven't seen it since I was a kid. So I don't know if it is targeting an older audience as well. Ari, my Berserk Iceberg. Yeah, we're getting to it, okay? I think we're getting to the end of this Minecraft thing. We got a few things to talk about. Okay, Ciclet. Who else is there? Kyle Entertainment. No, Ordinary Ari. We got a few things. What else is there? Let me go through my list. Minecraft trailer, easy. It's even in the title, crazy. We got the Blind Wave thing. Big drama there. Famous commenter, Miller the Killer, left a comment on a video we have to talk about. Well, not necessarily. We don't have to talk about the comment. Ciclet, Kyle. Okay. So we've got a few things here, okay? Firstly, me and Bacon, we're going through the Mushoku Tensei light novel, volumes 1 to 7. Well, in this first video here. So crazy. If you're interested, if you've read the light novel and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm on this channel because I watch unscripted videos about the Mushoku Tensei light novel. Well, you can go to this channel here, Ordinary Ari, and go check out these discussions when they come out eventually. I haven't reread anything. I even put it in a comment here. This was Bacon basically rereading, and this was kind of interesting. Because this is the first time where I've gone into a discussion where I wasn't the one kind of, I wasn't like a focus of it really at all. Like this was almost entirely me like asking Bacon questions and every now and then giving my opinion. But like I guess I was more in when me and Bacon did our Vinland Saga read through. It's kind of the opposite of that dynamic where I'm kind of in Bacon's position that what he was in there, and he's in like the other position who's like the first time going through and like I'm asking questions. It was kind of fun. This was a much more conversational discussion video where I didn't have any prepared notes or anything. It was more just me thinking of or going with what Bacon would say and then kind of like thinking of what I wanted to say afterwards. And this was kind of interesting. I enjoyed this. It was much easier, obviously, from my end. I don't know how much people like this. Like there's a few people, obviously they're saying, oh, we love this, we're excited, whatever. But no one's really said, oh, you know, this was like an interesting point or giving like general feedback about it. So I'd be interested to hear that. Like, I don't know if people prefer this style of thing or more the very in-depth things that like me and Kyle did for season 1, for instance. Or like, I guess all the episodes we did for season 2 with Kyle and Bacon. But it was at least a unique kind of thing. What about Ciclet's newest video? We're getting to it. Okay. I think like mainly educational stuff is just for kids. So you see that on TV and there really aren't many kids only theatrical movies. I mean, that's also probably true. Like things like Dora the Explorer, right? That's like a kid's thing, right? And that's also like somewhat educational. I don't know how educational, but I see your point. Maybe there aren't necessarily kids movies that I haven't seen yet. Minecraft movie. Wait, you haven't seen the Ciclet video? Oh, the latest one? I did watch the latest one. Oh, I already saw this one, alright? But yeah, Berserk 1997 opening. That I haven't seen yet. Minecraft movie, on that's the subject. My stream was also pretty funny. That is true. Ciclet did stream, and I did watch... I basically watched the stream. I skipped some bits, but I watched most of it. Don't forget about our great Chainsaw Man review. That is true. And some shorts, there's a bit of a delay. The bit in your stream where you said One Piece gets good 36 volumes in was so funny, Ciclet. Oh. I thought you were talking about me, and I'm like, I've never said that. My goodness. Look at how long it takes our messages to show up. Is that true? Is there like a massive delay? Wait, let me do this. So that I can see in the preview how long it takes, okay? Probably quite a while. I brought that H3H3 button. I definitely didn't. That wasn't that long. That was like 10 seconds, I think. Ari, how is AI audiobooks on YouTube different to pirating a TV show? I mean, in principle, it's like not really. It's like very similar. I'd have to think more about this. The reason, like one of the big reasons that I like to, well, I basically don't pirate any like anime, for instance, or TV shows, is that there's a lot of official ways to access this stuff very cheaply and easily, and at your leisure, like there's really good services basically. Crunchyroll, Netflix, like these are all really great. Even for manga, there's like the weekly Shonen Jump like website, which is really great and a good value, and you can easily read them and reread them, and it's like really good. For books, there's nothing like that. Either you pay a lot of money and actually buy the books, or you have an inconvenient access to an audiobook by renting it, which is pretty annoying. So I guess in this case, I don't have a good justification for it. I probably shouldn't do it. And also, I guess I did initially read them when I didn't have such strong of a stance on this, but if there was an easy way for me to like access for what I would consider, I guess, a reasonable price, the books or the audiobooks, then I would absolutely do it. And I'd have no issue with it. But I don't know, to me, the easiest and the quickest way to do it is, I guess, on YouTube. Oh, wait, I don't want to go to Ciclet. And it's a kind of similar thing in my Media Digest thing. For instance, Serial Experiments Lane, you can't watch that anywhere, but it's on YouTube. You can watch it here. So technically it's still on my wheel because it is on YouTube. So I don't know. Take from that what you will, I guess. I'm getting sick of bullshit anime messages in my live chat. We love anime here, so we love anime messages. Bacon said it was easier to digest than yucky element in text. Bacon said it was easier to digest the yucky element... Oh, in text. Yeah, he did. But he said something like that. People trying to tell Ciclet about Sukuna was funny. Some shorts are. Okay, we got a lot to do. I'm just trying to catch up on chat right now, okay? Actually censor my messages if I get too whiny. Actually censor my message if I get too whiny. Oh, it actually censors my message if I get too whiny. Crazy. No way, Bacon, listen to the text-to-speech from Mushoku Tensei. That sounds unbearable. I mean, he did for some. And it's not as unbearable as you think. Initially, it depends on the voice. Some are going to be obviously unbearable. Some are going to be quite natural sounding. Or at least reasonably so, where if you give it like 10 minutes, you'll forget about it. A semi-good one was posted a couple of months ago. I mean, there's quite a lot. There is also an official audiobook now that didn't exist when I read through it for the first time. You tell him, Miller. CapCut does a great AI voice changer. Surely you know the physical light novel. Surely you own the physical light novels? No, I don't. The only physical things I own are some Attack on Titan volumes. And that was only because I put them up. Like, I had them on a wall that you could, like, show off, you know, because they were really cool. Like, I don't read them. I would never read a physical book. Honestly, I don't read any books. So any way that I ever consume books is through audiobooks. That's the only way I ever consume books. I think. I don't think I've read a book in a long time. RGB SCART. Crazy. I have a great version, Serial Experiments Lane, not... I have a great version, Serial Experiments Lane, not on YouTube. Thanks, Kyle. That's great. Australians don't have SCART. I don't know what that is. Sucks so hard. I own 70 One Piece volumes and all of Dragon Ball. Oh my gosh. You're catching up to Totally Not Mark. That's crazy. Is he like your hero or something? Are you gonna have a little bookshelf behind you too? That's gonna be great. Gotta support my goats. That is true. A lot of old anime looks bad on Blu-ray because the original master was low res. I guess that makes... I don't know how much sense that makes, but I'm sure Ciclet's looked into it. Ciclet is the CRT guy, right? So it all looks upscaled and jagged. We love upscaled 60 FPS things here. What are we doing? Oh yeah, we got videos. Oh, that was Totally Not Mark. What was he talking about? I tried reading all of One Piece in 24 hours. I feel like that's very unlikely to achieve, but maybe you can if you read really fast. Okay. Firstly, Bacon's video. I don't have much to say because I haven't finished it yet. And I've already talked to Bacon a little bit, and I'll leave a comment when I'm done with it. But if you haven't seen it, it's a lot of fun. Talking about basically one thing that they watched in every month. Actually, what about Barbie? No, I think they did Barbie and Oppenheimer at both of them. But yep, fun podcast every year. You should watch it. Then we got Ciclet's video. This thing.
So before this...
This is great. What a physical performer Ciclet is. This is already. My goodness. But yeah, I assume this is probably something I probably would watch the whole thing because I haven't seen Berserk. Then there's Kyle's video. How The Last of Us Part 2 introduces itself. I don't think I'm watching this hour-long thing on stream. And I also haven't played The Last of Us 2. I only watched a playthrough of it. So I don't know how much I'll get from this, but we'll see. There's one thing I know from this, which is, I guess we'll see it, which is apparently Kyle does a face reveal or something, so I guess we'll see. But I'm curious how he did that. Shabes would never sell us bad Blu-rays. What does that even mean? Does he sell Blu-rays at all? How does he make a Blu-ray? I don't like Blind Wave getting high. They're meant to be sanitary and family friendly. I don't think of family friendly when I think of Blind Wave. They have had the opportunity to become family friendly, right? They just haven't taken it for some reason. Like I could easily imagine like them cutting away like swearing or discussion of like serious themes and stuff, but no, they just go into it sometimes. It's pretty crazy. OMFG Ari, I have a great video on the Lord of the Rings 4K Blu-ray. No, I'm good, Ciclet, okay? Maybe if I was a big Lord of the Rings fan. Is anyone here watching The Rings of Power, by the way? Is that going good or not? Ari is literally copying my reaction. I love it too. It's great. It's like the hair, the outfit, the holding the microphone. It's fantastic. This is amazing already. Did you know the Blu-ray extended edition has a green filter over it, so all of the Lord of the Rings screenshots online are gross and green? That's pretty awesome. I didn't know that. But I also feel like it's probably not intentional. Shabes works on anime Blu-rays for a living. Okay, I had no idea. So the DVDs are the only correct way to watch Lord of the Rings. Oh my god, that's like Dragon Ball release ciclet. They have their Pokemon channel, which has got to be family friendly. That is true. Probably the offshoots are probably, some of them could probably be family friendly. Anyway, well, I guess we're starting with the ciclet one. Let's have a look. What else do I have to do? We can talk about the blind way stuff. We got a few other things to talk about as well, but we'll get to it.
So before this video begins...
Jeez, that was very loud. Scared me. Okay.
So before this video begins, I'd just like to say a few words about a more serious topic. I just want to take a moment to talk about a cause that I care passionately about. So for those of you who don't know, last December, I was banned from the r/Berserk subreddit after I was embroiled in a controversy over me posting a video showing Miura in an interview confirming that Casca did enjoy it. Now, the Berserk mods did not take kindly to me disrespecting the author, even though all I did was post Miura's own words making himself look bad. So I was banned, my voice was censored, and I suffered horrible abuse when I tried to appeal, because you have to understand that the r/Berserk subreddit is run by a bunch of partisan Griffith haters who will bully anyone who tries to point out the toxicity of the community. And this came after years upon years of them turning a blind eye to me getting sent death threats every single day by users on that sub. Because it's okay if someone gets murdered as long as they're a Griffith fan, right? This really affected me, and in the aftermath I did spiral into a really bad place. Some things happened, which I'm not going to get into for privacy reasons, but you'll see that from December onwards in my channel there's been almost no activity because I was so depressed that I was about to give up basically on this whole channel. But having been through that and coming out on the other side, it's given me a new perspective on what we as Griffith fans need in this community. For the sake of our own mental health, we need a safe space where we can talk about all things Berserk without the fear of being abused or killed by deranged gut stands. So I'm making a new Berserk sub, one where free speech is enshrined in its very constitution, and one where corrupt mods can't just ban you for
this the whole beginning bit is an advertisement for the new subreddit.
You being
this is
yourself.
Great.
And we can have healthy debates there, one where you won't be bullied for merely having an opinion. So I'm going to be sending out application forms soon for anyone who wants to be a mod, so keep your eyes out for that. And I'm having a bit of trouble coming up with a name. I was thinking maybe Berserk Real, Griffith Fans, Berserk Official, Real Berserk, but I really want this sub to be able to be competitive with the other Berserk sub, r/Berserk, in the hopes that it will one day replace it. We, as Griffith fans, can change the discourse, and we can change this community for the better if we put our minds to it. And if you're new here and you've only just come across this channel and have any love in your heart for decency and fairness and free speech, join the revolt. Fight for Griffith. Join the Ciclet Stands Discord. Fight for freedom. Fight for the good that you know still exists and can exist in this community. That's enough of my rambling, guys. Enjoy the video. So I've recently been getting super into iceberg videos. The ones where the further down the iceberg you go, the more niche and interesting the information
gets. Cool
gets.
pigeon. This is a cool set design idea.
And while the format seems to have been done to death in the broader internet culture, it seems to me that in the Berserk community, a lot of the icebergs tend to be sorely lacking in terms of real underground...
Also, I've never seen an iceberg video in my life. At least I don't think so.
Stuff in the sphere. This is interesting. And I did actually see that recently I made it onto one of the popular icebergs, which was really validating for me, and it put a spring in my step for the whole rest of the day. It's inspired me to make my own. So here it is, the real Berserk iceberg with some proper, real, deep, interesting, niche stuff that's really rewarding when you actually like sink your teeth into the community and find out about it. But I guess I'm just telling it you all here. So we're starting off in the sky above the iceberg, and this is where you'll find your average layman, the bits of Berserk that have broken through into mainstream status. And these are often the avenues in which people actually get into it. So first off, we have Guts' theme, which is this really cool, freaky, sort of psychedelic kind of sound, which unfortunately...
I think I know all of these, by the way. That's pretty crazy. This truly is for everyone here.
Fortunately has been popularized by YouTube memes and TikTok sounds. And so something that veteran Berserk fans like myself held on to intimately and dearly for so many years, listening to it at 3 a.m. while we were crying, has now been reduced to just like normie music. And so any resonance or meaning the song might have once held has just been totally poisoned. And I can't even watch the anime anymore because it all just feels like one big Gen Z meme. Next up...
You know what's crazy? I knew the Guts theme before I knew anything about Berserk. Like when I was watching Berserk and I heard the theme, I was like, whoa, it's that like song, the famous one. That's crazy.
We have Dark Souls, and I think this is where most people actually get into Berserk from. Dark Souls is this kind of Berserk ripoff made by From Software Games, Hayao Miyazaki. And when they hear about the dark fantasy design elements in that game being heavily inspired by Berserk, a lot of people are like, hey, let's check Berserk out, and they become fans from there. And I'd love to see their faces when they found out that Berserk isn't actually a dark fantasy manga, and is actually a shoujo manga for teenage girls, full of love triangles and cheesy anime internal monologues. Now, one of the most infamous memes revolving around the Berserk community is that of Berserk 2016. Now, this adaptation is an absolute mess, a fucking tragedy, travesty. Now, this thing is supposed
I wonder, have you seen it, Ciclet? I wonder.
to be a sequel to the 2012 movie trilogy, but they absolutely butcher the story in so many ways. But the most egregious thing about this adaptation has to be the animation quality. Now, for those of you who don't know, Berserk isn't the prettiest manga in the world by real art standards, but it's pretty fucking nice. And the way they decided to adapt it is with these horrifically ugly CGI monstrosities with totally deadpan expressions and awful cinematography. And get this, the only well-animated scene in the entire show is the one where Farnese gets raped by this possessed demon horse, almost. But that's not the only reason it's infamous. Every single time Guts swings his oversized sword in the show, they use this exact same stock saucepan clang that makes it sound like a weird, like, Looney Tunes.
God, that is like such a mark of like not well produced anime. It's like reusing sound effects and stuff. It's such like an obvious tell, you know? I don't know why. But that's like the first thing I think of when I think of One Punch Man Season 2 as well.
Cartoon. Berserk for the longest time suffered from really long hiatuses, rivaling Yoshihiro Togashi. Miura, for the longest time, was suffering from a swelling heart, and eventually it exploded, and he sadly died. Since then, things have been a lot better, but when it was bad, it was Guts spent 8 years on a boat bad. Now, Schnoz is another Berserk meme that comes from this panel of a really cute, lubbly, squeezable little gremlin creature that everyone looked at and was like, oh, this is really funny. It's not funny. So now we're into sort of lapping the surface of the sea territory. For those of you who don't know, Berserk started, like every other manga for that matter, as a small one-shot prototype labeled Berserk the Prototype. It involves Guts with an eye patch, which is weird, you don't see that often, and Griffith as a small girl child. It's really short, there's not much to it, so if you want to dip your toes into Berserk without your...
Was that his foot? Is that...
It involves Guts with an eye patch,
right?
which is weird, you don't see that often.
It must be his
and
hand.
Griffith as a small girl child. It's really short, there's not much to it, so if you want to dip your...
Wait, is that his foot?
Your toes into
That's
Berserk
crazy.
without your first experience having to be that horror that is chapter 1, page 1 of Berserk. If you know, you know. Try it out. It's all right. Now, r/Berserk is the main subreddit of the Berserk community, obviously, and it's mainly notable for being very toxic and discriminatory towards the people who don't fit into the very narrow worldview of the mods. I was actually sent death threats every single day for years, and that was enabled by the mods. I just stood by and let it happen. They won't allow you to make any valid criticism towards Berserk's creepy author, and they certainly will not stand for posts that show any kind of nuance or sympathy towards Griffith, because, and you can tell, the sub is just chock full of homophobes. I was called all manner of homophobic slurs while I was on there, and I don't know why. The only reason I'm giving it the time of day here is to warn y'all to steer clear of it. If you want a Berserk community to become a part of, then please join the new Berserk subreddit that's coming soon called Berserk Real, r/Berserk Real, where you won't be censored by the mods and be able to have nice, wholesome discussions together. I'll be creating that soon, so please stay tuned for that and subscribe, please.
I wonder what the subreddit stats. Let's see what's happening to this Berserk subreddit. I should also probably read the chat in case you guys are saying something important, you know? Is it a growing subreddit or is it dying? Oh no, it's getting better. Oh my gosh, that's pretty crazy. He's getting more comments per day. But who knows? Maybe when Ciclet subreddit comes out, it'll start dying off. Oh boy. Okay. Or you could, Kyle, post the VOD. No. Fuck all the jokes are at the wrong speed. I don't think that's fine. I think the jokes are fine at this speed, okay? The VOD will go up eventually. You know, Ari, a lot of comedic style involves very specific comedic timing. Yeah, my brain like adjusts. You know, I can still feel it at this timing here. He's not laughing as much as me, Ciclet. He sucks. I was about to give up, basically, on this whole channel. Genius. He is copying my reaction, pigeon. You would never copy and paste other people's reactions, Kyle. What's that supposed to mean? And Cichlid is sad that I'm watching at 1.5 times speed, I'm sure. That's how you know Ari's a fake Berserk fan. I had never heard of Guts' theme until I watched the show 20 years ago. Wow. He's missed the Miyazaki joke. I don't know anything about Miyazaki, so I'm not going to understand it, okay? I'm your only real fan, Cichlid. I watched 4 episodes. Glad someone appreciates me. I watched both seasons. I want to watch both seasons, but, you know, I can't, you know? The damn copyright's taking it away from me. Never seen a single episode, says Milliliter Killer. They cut Ganishka. It was funny. The heart joke is the funniest joke in the video. We'll see. Oh my god, I missed the foot. The foot's crazy. I forgot to add this video to the spreadsheet because it's the best one I've ever made, right, Kyle? Video of the year contender. It's at least a great. When I get up, I'll decide for real. Crazy, the new Berserk author is gonna die before it finishes too. No, come on. Been a single chapter all year, and Cichlid is sad. All right, let's keep going.
There have been several incidents, let's call them wars, between the Twitter and the Berserk fanbase over the years. Twitter's recent discovery of Berserk has gone hand in hand with its discovery of some of its more problematic elements, that being the over-sexualization of rape in the story. Well, I say over-sexualization, and you can't over-sexualize rape. Now, the people who make these criticisms are mainly women, and the Berserk community being full of just Andrew Tate stands don't take kindly to these women's valid criticisms of Miura drawing Casca's rape as if it's some kind of hentai porno. It gets so bad that these sweaty edgelord gut stands go so far as to gaslight these women into believing that they're the freaks, as if the only way these people on Twitter could see the rape as sexualized is if they themselves are into it. It's absolutely disgusting, and it's victim blaming. Are all of the people who have a problem with the sexualization of the movie Cuties attracted to kids? No, that's fucking ridiculous, and you ought to be ashamed of yourselves. This is victim blaming. Now, the Griffith did nothing wrong argument sort of started off as a semi-ironic meme, where people would say that because Griffith created Falconia, a paradise on Earth, from a utilitarian perspective, he's actually exempt from condemnation for all of the horrible things he did in the Eclipse. Now, in more recent years, with the advent of the YouTuber Cichlid, more serious and foolproof and foolhardy takes have emerged regarding Griffith's innocence. Now, for those of you who don't know, Griffith supposedly sacrificed all of his friends to demons for a gay Batman suit, or chicken wings, depending on your interpretation, and then went on to rape his best friend's girlfriend in front of him. Now, this take has a lot of holes in it, and I'm going to delve into it a bit later on in the video, but if you want a real good, in-depth look at why it's wrong, then I'd recommend Cichlid's series on YouTube, where he
You should post this as a TikTok. Cut this section out and just put it on TikTok. People will love it.
Explains Griffith's innocence. So while the Griffith did nothing wrong meme started off as a semi-ironic joke, through Cichlid's grassroots activism in proving Griffith's innocence, the take has reached more mainstream position, although it's not all the way there yet. We're just dipping our toes in now. Next up, we have Studio Taka, and a little bit of background information is needed on this. Now, Berserk has never really had a real anime adaptation that goes past the Golden Age arc, and fans like me have been waiting for nearly 30 years to get a Season 2. And it seems we've gotten so desperate that we've started taking matters into our own hands. Studio Taka is one of these, a group of dedicated fans who have decided to create their own adaptation of Berserk in the form of animated black and white chapters from the original manga, and these things are gorgeous. Unfortunately, it takes them so long to adapt it that they've released only 2 chapters in the last 5 years.
With this new story, we're starting what we're internally referring to as Season 2 of Berserk, the animated manga.
It's really depressing, and I don't know how these guys do it. It must be so demoralizing to have this snail-pace release schedule in the knowledge that they will all be dead by the time they reach chapter 30. And to make matters worse, they've recently been completely overshadowed by a new fan-led animation studio called Studio Eclipse, and you can tell by Studio Taka's recent output on YouTube that they feel really threatened by this. I love this one, where they just seem to be casually throwing shade at the new adaptation. They seem to be in full cope mode at this point. And it's a real shame, because the black and white animation from these motion comics, taken directly from Miura's artwork himself, I consider to be the perfect adaptation. I don't know who ever decided that it would be a good idea to put color in a Berserk adaptation, and it's exactly why I'm so excited for the upcoming Uzumaki anime by Junji Ito. Even Miura's own color drawings are like completely amateurish and shit, and I could do better. I'm really glad they decided to push for this minimalist monochromatic style.
And our first introduction of color to the series.
The character Pippin has always been a bit of a mystery for me, in terms of his popularity within the fanbase. I mean, he's literally just a mute who doesn't say anything ever. I mean, I guess he's like maybe relatable for socially challenged Guts stands, but he's only ever done 2 things within the story. Picked up Guts without his consent and hit a wall with a hammer. That's literally it, and yet he tops all of the charts for most popular Berserk character. And I have 2 theories for why this is the case. One is that people are gaslighting themselves into liking all of the canon fodder characters that died in the eclipse because they want it to hit harder for some reason. They want it to be the darkest thing in fiction, even though nobody important died. But the main reason I think Pippin is so popular is because the Kentaro Miura himself stated that Pippin was written as a stand-in for Kentaro Miura. Pippin has Miura's personality, and because a lot of Berserk fans like to suck up—
Wait, does he look like Miura? Wait, what did Miura look like? I feel like he kind of looks like him. Wait. No. Okay, I don't know why I thought that. Okay, not at all. Maybe if he was like a lot bigger. Wait, no, that's not what I wanted.
I think Pippin is so popular is because the Kentaro Miura himself stated that Pippin was written as a stand-in for Kentaro Miura. Pippin has Miura's personality, and because a lot of Berserk fans like to suck up to Miura as a second coming of Christ who can do no wrong, they give Pippin this sort of transcendental status as this kind of Berserkian saint up there on the pedestal. Earlier I mentioned Berserk Chapter 1, page 1, and the reason I described it the way I did is because the story opens up with Guts having sex with a demon lady. Now a lot of people are taken aback by this, but they think nothing of it, and later on in the story, when they read about Guts' intimate relationship with Casca, for some reason it doesn't click that, oh my god, he just cheated on Casca. He cheated on her. He cheated on her with a dinosaur. If you know about all the horrible things Guts has done to Casca throughout the story, this just rubs more salt in the wound. Now, r/Berserkle is the meme sub of the Berserk community, and so you'd think they'd be a little bit kinder to Griffith fans, or at least be a little bit more liberal about the kind of content they allow to be posted on the sub. But nope, they still hate Griffith and they still bully Griffith fans. But regardless of any of that, the sub is completely unusable anyway, because any dissenting opinion post is locked behind mod approval and will
wow, not even Berserkle Jerk, that's crazy.
never get posted. And they don't even allow you to post videos. The whole community—
is there like a Berserk folk subreddit or something?
It just feels really stale anyway. The sub feels like it's stuck in 2010, just regurgitating the same Donovan and Casca enjoyed it memes as if they're still funny, which they're not. Now, Berserk was a—
See, I don't think I'd ever be brave enough to like antagonize one of the folk subreddits, like a Circle Jerk, not a Circle, a Berserkle Jerk, and like Chainsaw Folk and Titan Folk. No, I would not antagonize them. Okay, but Sigler's a braver man than me. Been a single chapter all year. Semi-ironic meme. Ari didn't laugh. Chicken wings. He didn't laugh. You know, I'm not gonna laugh at every joke. Okay. I was disappointed. He called the moving manga pretty. Then it was all to build up to the color joke. Genius. True, but also does look pretty. Transcendental, he didn't laugh. Cheating is evil. Disavow cheating. Please? I don't care. Okay.
A really pioneering manga in the 80s.
But I guess I do care if it's Berserk, you know, because
especially with how they handled Casca's ethnicity. Casca has dark skin. She's from the border region with Kushan. And while it doesn't really have that much or any bearing on her characterization, a lot of anthropologists have liked to argue that she was actually the catalyst that kick-started the trend of dark-skinned anime women in the 90s. And so I wonder what might happen when Berserk 2016 decided—
Now is this? What is going on
like
here?
To argue that she was actually the catalyst that kick-started the trend of dark—
So I haven't seen any other iceberg things, but this is like a ironic thing, right? Where I'm assuming in other like icebergs they say things without evidence or whatever, and that's what's happening here.
Dark-skinned anime women in the 90s. And so I wonder what might happen when Berserk 2016 decided to just race swap.
Feels like Mikasa here, like the red scarf and brownish like leather jacket or whatever. I don't know.
Her to just like another white chick. Massive controversy indeed. There's a sizable portion of the Berserk community that believes that Charlotte was actually raped by Griffith that night when he crawled into her chambers. But that's actually really not true. It's highly likely that everyone giving that argument has never ever actually had sex, because there is actually such a thing as non-verbal consent, and Charlotte showed lots of it. She lifted her head back to let Griffith kiss her neck and touch her body. She was very, very into it. Miura himself, upon seeing that people were misconstruing the scene and that maybe he'd been a little bit too ambiguous with it, he went out of his way to involve himself in the production of the second movie to change that scene. So now Charlotte literally grabs Griffith's hand and shoves it into her breast. So there is absolutely zero ambiguity about her enthusiastic consent. Billy—
What a great scene that was in the movie, by the way. Oh no, what is this?
Eilish is on this list because of something I found recently that took me by surprise. You wouldn't usually take her for a Berserk fan, but she's actually been captured on several occasions wearing Berserk drip clothing, even in one instance wearing a Griffith from the movies shirt. A potential secret Griffith fan? A covert cichlid dog whistle? We'll never know. A lot of people hate Griffith, mainly because of how he raped his best friend's girlfriend in front of him, but not a lot of people realize that he actually didn't. That was femto. You see, human Griffith would never have raped Casca. This is because the transformation artificially stripped him of his ability to feel love and empathy and compassion. In the words of the idea of evil, his heart was frozen. So all of the anger that had previously been held back by his love for Guts all of a sudden came crashing forward in this chaotic, rapey scene from hell. Human Griffith did nothing wrong. And speaking of the idea of evil, there's what's known in the Berserk community as the Lost Chapter, referring to Chapter 83, which prematurely revealed the god of Berserk's world in an audience with Griffith. Miura believed that he had revealed this too early, and so he had it removed from canon. And to this day, you can only find it through really old scanlations of the original 90s release in the magazine. And this has left it in a really weird limbo state where no one can really agree whether it's canon or not, because the idea of evil actually first shows up on the very last panel of Chapter 82, and nothing in the story since has contradicted it. On the contrary, there seem to be little nods and foreshadowing towards the idea of evil to this very day. And if anyone ever tries to tell you that Griffith's heart wasn't actually frozen because the idea of evil isn't canon, just tell them that that part of the conversation happened in Chapter 82, which was released in the volumes adapted into the 1997 anime and the Berserk movies.
Interesting. I actually don't remember if I obviously I know about the chapter because I saw Kyle's video on it. I don't remember if I ever read it. No, I definitely didn't read it actually. Because I remember the first time I went through, I got to the end. And I was on the edge of my seat the whole time. I was like, when is Griffith gonna say the famous I want wings line or whatever? And I just never saw it. I was like, oh damn, okay, I guess I don't know, I don't know what I thought, but no, it wasn't there. Crazy. Ari refuses to disavow cheating. Watch out, ladies. Mikasa was inspired by the great Casca. I do vaguely remember something like that. Billie Eilish, my queen, stay away, Cichlid. Glad we can now say that Mikasa is infinitely weaker than Levi, can't even rip half a man's head off in her awakening. Wait, how do you know that? Maybe she didn't want to.
Studio Eclipse. Oh boy, have you ever seen a bigger swindling of an entire community into thinking that this is actually going to be a thing? They've essentially promised a full-color adaptation of Berserk, and they've released these trailers full of fluid, gorgeous Sakuga, and they've somehow convinced the entire fanbase that we're finally going to get a true adaptation and this is what it's going to look like. And I'm just like, you do realize these are pre-animated trailers, right? And they probably took months to do. They have claimed that the Black Swordsman arc, which is what they're adapting, is going to be coming out in 2025 the summer. But I guarantee you that only the first episode is going to come out then, with the second episode.
When is summer? Is that like for America or whatever? Is that I guess that would be like middle of the year or something, right?
Coming out like a year later. They're animating this like alternative ending of Attack on Titan at the exact same time. And like, no offense, but like, it's all really ugly. It has that sickly clean digital shine while simultaneously not having that polish that makes professional anime look any good. And so it all ends up looking like sort of dodgy anime fan art that's like, there's just something off about it. And yes, they have some great looking sequences, but I guarantee you that they have used them all up for the trailer and most of it's going to look like ass. They will have finished the Black Swordsman arc in 5 years. Do not get your hopes up, people. It's just not a reasonable alternative to a real adaptation. I'm sorry, it's not. They're lying to you. People have always criticized Griffith for his possessiveness and entitlement, especially his sense of ownership towards his men and especially Guts. And people usually point towards the scene where Griffith says, "You are mine," as this kind of encapsulation of all that is wrong with Griffith's character and his treatment of Guts. But a lot of people seem to miss that Griffith is literally just granting the wishes of Guts himself. He wanted to be a slave. Guts actually suggested the duel and laid out the terms of service for his servitude to Griffith, and Griffith literally just agreed to it. Guts brought it up. Griffith initially was just really nice and kind and friendly towards Guts, and Guts responded in an incredibly homophobic manner, insinuating that Griffith wanted to own Guts as a sex slave. Guts wasn't at all interested in a reciprocal, respectful, equal relationship between two consenting men, and so all Griffith could do was play along. Griffith didn't really believe that Guts belonged to him, and we see that in the very final moments in the Eclipse where he admits that to himself in his own head. And speaking of Guts, has anyone else noticed that he literally eavesdropped on his best friend without him knowing about it? People are always having a massive go about how mean Griffith is, but then completely ignore Guts literally betraying his best friend's privacy. If Guts hadn't been so narcissistic and entitled here, then he wouldn't have heard Griffith lying to woo the princess, and Casca wouldn't have been raped. I feel like I look like Jim Halpert in The Office getting interviewed. This channel is a
Office reference, I got no idea.
Jim Halpert Stan channel. Next up, we have Slan's Lies, and it's important that everyone in the community know about this one. A lot of people like to claim that Griffith selfishly sacrificed all of his soldiers for his own selfish ambition and kingdom and glory. But that's actually really not true, because Slan actually lies to Griffith that the Hawks would consent and agree to be sacrificed as martyrs for martyrdom, and to ensure that their efforts up until this point had not been for naught. She tricked Griffith into believing that that's what the Hawks wanted, because she knew that Griffith would never want to willingly betray their wishes. And for those of you saying that she only said that they should forgive him, that's actually a bad translation, because in Japanese it's actually impossible to say that something will definitely happen or someone definitely feels this way. That's just not how it works. You can't say that in Japanese, because from a Japanese perspective, how could you ever say with 100% certainty what's in someone else's mind? So if I said, oh, Michael feels sad, I can't say that in Japanese. I have to say, I bet Michael's sad, at the very most. And we kind of understand that that basically means yes. It essentially means bound to in this context. And I speak Japanese. Nani kore? Griffiths no hou ga gatsu yori ii desu yo.
Oh, wow.
So once again, Griffith did nothing wrong and he was manipulated. Judo is everybody's nice guy character. He's a good little boy, right? Wrong. Despite his witty charm and his gestures of love and affection and caring towards Casca, his endearing silent love that he can never speak of, beneath that lies an incredibly selfish, evil murderer. If you take a moment to step outside of the narrative framing, this is a guy who lived an incredibly comfortable life as a circus performer. And despite that, he decided to join a bunch of mercenaries and go around killing a bunch of innocent soldiers who were forced onto the battlefield by feudal law. And why, you ask? So that he could feel second best to Griffith. He enjoys killing and wants to brag about it. Do not fall for his sickly smile. Griffith is legally innocent. It's true. If you tried to sentence Griffith in a court of law, you wouldn't get very far. At least not if I had anything to do with it. Why? Because accountability requires what is known as a mens rea, which essentially boils down to having
I want to rewatch this video that Cyclet made. Not now, but I want to rewatch it actually.
Willful evil intent and being able to discern the consequences of your evil actions. You cannot have a mens rea if you lack the capacity to give informed consent. And for Griffith, he could not give that to the God Hand's contract. Griffith was in a mentally ill, hallucinogenic, suicidal state and had been suffering from blood loss. He could not discern reality from illusion, and for that reason you cannot condemn him for anything he did while under the influence. If I drugged you with an aggression drug, like in The Boys, and then you went on to murder a bunch of innocent people, would you like it if everyone then started saying that you're evil and you're at fault and you're an unforgivable monster? No, that's fucking ridiculous. If you actually look at the details of Griffith's dream and what he wanted to achieve, you'll realize that it wasn't selfish at all. Having been brought up as a dirt-poor street rat in the slums beneath Wyndham Castle, Griffith understood what it was like to have no opportunity in life and sought to establish a new kingdom of meritocracy for himself and his men. A new kind of society, based on talent rather than your aristocratic family crest and your position on a social hierarchy. Griffith knew that all of his men's dreams rested on his shoulders, and he knew that he had to keep pushing on and achieve his dreams to make sure that their dreams came into fruition. Griffith was a socialist. He wanted to throw a wrench at the system, to reform it from within. The idea that he's just this selfish evil.
I could see this becoming a very popular idea. And I don't know, maybe it already is. I have no idea. But I mean, it's on this iceberg. I don't think Cyclet made this, right?
Evil hog. It's just gut stand propaganda and completely ignores the text. Now, you've already heard my opinion on Pippin.
Wait, what did he? Because he was in the other one. Unless this is like another one that he made. I have no idea.
As a character, but I think the problem goes a little bit deeper than that. The framing of Berserk's narrative from Guts' perspective means that you end up spending very little time thinking about what the characters have actually done with their lives. Pippin was originally part of a miners' guild.
Wait, this must be what Cyclet made, because it's got like all his like famous beefs he had, right? I just assumed he found one and it was like he was going through it.
Which is than that. The framing of Berserk's narrative from Guts' perspective means that
Pippin is evil? What is this? I thought we talked about this already.
You end up spending very little time thinking about what the characters have actually done with their lives. Pippin was originally part of a miners' guild, which was one of the highest paid jobs in the Middle Ages. It was unionized with a hell of a lot of bargaining power, and they had freedom of movement and ability to live in their own little commune together. It was basically like an idyllic life. And yet Pippin, just like Dudo, heard the call of glory and thought, you know what? This isn't good enough for me. I'm going to go join a bunch of thugs and go around murdering a bunch of women and children. Now, Smudboy is a content creator on YouTube who seems to have copied Mahler's content style, reacting to other videos on the platform and then acting extremely bigoted towards them for about 3 hours and making terrible points. He attacked one of my videos on Griffith Did Nothing Wrong, and then we ended up having a 3-hour-long full debate where I ended up destroying all of his arguments, and he ended up looking horrendously dumb for it. He unironically argued that it was impossible to feel empathy for strangers, and therefore Griffith could not have felt bad about all the men that died for him. Watch it. It's really good if you're into debates. Super Eye Patch Wolf is a really popular YouTuber who's done a lot of good work in popularizing Berserk to the normies, and he seemed like a really nice Scotch guy. So imagine my surprise when I go onto his Discord server to talk with him about Griffith, and he acts with such a passive-aggressive, toxic demeanor that I'm just like, you are not the person that your online persona suggests. And it's kind of ironic considering the videos you've made on that very subject. Basically, I beat him in the argument, and then he tried to explain to me that I'm wrong, because if Griffith wasn't actually evil like I was saying, then Berserk would be badly written. And I had to explain to him that narrative intent doesn't mean anything when the narrative execution ends up having Griffith emerge as not a bad guy. Why am I obligated to accept a story's moral framing, as if it's true? Say if I were to write a book, and I tried to frame one of the characters as being super evil because they were gay, you don't have to accept that framing and then hate them for being gay. And I don't expect that you would do that, unless you're a Guts stan. And in response to this, I guess he felt really personally attacked and shown up to be dumb in front of his audience, because he started getting really passive-aggressive and just started abusing me. I can't actually show you all of the messages because he deleted them trying to cover his tracks, but just know that that sweet smile and British charm isn't all that it seems to be. Guts actually became Griffith metaphorically in the Black Swordsman arc. People always criticize Griffith for his emotional repression and the persona of apathy and control that he always projected, but people forget that Guts did the exact same thing in the BA arc in response to the trauma he got from the eclipse. He lies about wanting to squish weaklings like bugs, he claws at his own arms to repress himself, and he runs away from his feelings and neglect towards Casca. This is all a very Guts way of doing what Griffith did throughout the Golden Age arc. And you might say that Guts actually got past that eventually, but so did Griffith. He was developing massively throughout the Golden Age arc, opening up to show his soft side and his vulnerabilities to Guts. He had one bad day, and his life was fucked up forever. Guts, on the other hand, was able to mope around for 2.5 years, leaving Casca to fend for himself, and he didn't suffer any consequences for it. The lucky bugger. Now, Alexander is kind of a sad one, and I...
Oh boy. Alright, let me read some chats here. Okay. Guts is a ho-mo, says the K-word. Thank you. Oh my god, and he ended his stream to watch The Office. He did, that's true. Did you find new place? Oh yeah, I guess, guys, you know, I've been very busy lately. You know, I got a new job. You know, I'm looking for a place to live because I'm moving city. It's pretty crazy. Maybe he won't tell me the name of the company. True, I won't. I'm not telling anyone that. Then we'll both delete these messages. He'll never know. You wish. Like the Russians in the night. Shaking my head. Do I have no allies anymore? Ow. Just made my elbow tingle. Crazy. Of course, he made this one. Wait, no. Soon I need to go buy aniseed balls from ye old sweet shop. I don't know what that means, but okay. But yeah, of course he made this one, Ari. He's such a silly guy. I should really get some British people to react to the Super Eye Patch Wolf one. All these foreigners don't get it. He's like British, and you said you made a joke about him being British. It's funny. I don't know. Ari better go watch my reaction to this video afterwards to see how a real man reacts. True. So my reaction was better. Hella epic. Did you hear that, Ari? Oh my gosh, he's finally reading us. He was gripped by the video. That's why. True. I have nothing to say because I'm just listening to Sicklet's points and I'm taking them all in.
His life was fucked up forever.
But now I'm on the edge of my seat because I'm also anti-Alexander ever since he blocked me on Twitter, so we don't like him.
Guts, on the other hand, was able to mope around for 2.5 years, leaving Casca to fend for himself, and he didn't suffer any consequences for it. The lucky bugger. Now, Alexander is kind of a sad one, and I still feel really kind of bad about it. He has the most popular videos about Griffith on YouTube, and so I tried to debate him about it on his Discord server, but he was having none of it, and he banned me. Now, this was around the time when I first created my Discord server, Sicklet Stands, go join it right now, and I wasn't really aware of the etiquette or dangers of running such a huge community server. And so when I complained about the situation to them, a lot of my fans took it upon themselves to go over to Alexander's server and raid it, which I didn't want, and this especially controversial communist fan, who I'm not going to name, got very aggressive and confrontational towards him, and I think he ended up having like this massive mental breakdown. Now, later on, I did message him over X, and we did come to a mutual understanding. I really do hope that that bridge hasn't been burned forever. I have since learned some responsibility in the management of my community, and you know, the fact that I am such a big YouTuber, I do have to act responsibly on the internet sometimes. Otherwise, people's mental health can be at stake. I'm really sorry, Alexander. I'm sorry. Now, this one's fucking crazy. So I was just minding my own business reading the conviction arc when all of a sudden a soldier picks up a refugee from the river who is dying of the plague, turns them around, and oh my fucking god, it's Jill. It's Jill from Berserk. Jill is dying of the plague. Jill died. Jill died of plague. It has to be, right? They have the same facial structure, the same eyes, the same nose,
Oh,
the
wow.
same mouth, the same face shape, the same hair, everything. And I hear a lot of people coping by saying that the hair color is completely different, but that's the way that Miura draws wet hair. She's in the river. People also say that it ruins the thematic poignancy of the Lost Children arc. But what could be more berserk than by having such a hopeful message be so savagely undercut with the harsh realities of death, and in such an understated and unimportant manner? Because Jill doesn't really matter. Not in the grand scheme of things. There's a point here about Berserk mods, but I think I've complained about them enough so far in this video. I don't want to beat another dead horse. If you weren't already convinced that the Band of the Hawk are evil people who deserved what was coming to them in the eclipse, just check out this panel from chapter 78. I have never seen anyone point this out, so I must be the first person to realize it. But the Godhand are showing Griffith past scenes of the Band of the Hawk murdering, burning alive innocent women and children during their plundering. It really puts into perspective how narrative framing influences our perspective on these evil men who are actually getting their just desserts. There's this Nietzschean ideal of the Ubermensch, or Superman, that's a massive theme in Berserk,
wow.
and a lot of people like to think that Guts fits it best. By these edgelords' own interpretation, it should be Griffith 100%. Who else rejects the common morality of society at large, grabs life by the balls through the will to power, and doing whatever the hell they want to do? Harnessing master morality to take control of their own destiny, forging their own path while squishing the bugs at their feet. Guts was too much of a pussy to do that. Surely Griffith is the true Nietzschean ideal of Berserk. I'm sure Miura would attest to that. Now, I wouldn't feel right telling y'all about this one without first shouting out fellow YouTuber Kyle Entertainment.
Oh my
He was
God.
actually the first one who pointed this out to me, and it just shows how good he is at analyzing anime, manga, and media more broadly. Go check out his channel. He has some really good videos on Attack on Titan and Berserk. Now, he pointed out to me, and this is genius.
Sorry, it's just funny because, you know, I know how much Kyle loves being associated with just, you know, manga and anime. It's great.
That Charlotte actually raped Griffith. And it's so obvious that I'm a little concerned that I didn't realize it beforehand. Griffith was in a severely mentally compromised state of mind, and he was literally dissociating as he acted out the movements of sex. He clearly wasn't okay. Just look at his blank expression and dilated eyes. Charlotte surely saw this, and yet she still advanced anyway, because she was so desperate to get into Griffith's pants. It's a credit to Miura that he's able to write such nuanced characters within the story. I mean, is there any character in Berserk that isn't evil besides Griffith? I really didn't want to have to tell you all this, but Casca actually enjoyed it. It's been confirmed. Or at least in the author's own opinion, that is. You see, it was revealed last December that in a little-known Berserk guidebook released exclusively in Japan called the Berserk Monster Manual, there was an interview back in 2003 of Miura explaining that Casca actually enjoyed it, and not just physically, but emotionally, because it was Griffith who was doing it to her, and that her mind broke out of embarrassment that she was enjoying it so much in front of her boyfriend Guts. Now, I posted this information onto r/Berserk, and the mods quickly had to engage in damage control. They ended up shooting the messenger, banning me for merely posting the words of the author, all for making him look bad for himself writing a scene where the victim of a rape was actually super into it. But that's the moral caliber of the guys who run r/Berserk, and it's why you should join my new subreddit, Berserk Uncensored. It's out now, I just made it, it's not a porn sub, it's a free speech zone for Berserk fans of all shapes and sizes. And finally, we have the last one, and this might blow up the community. People like to believe that Guts is a good person, but that's actually really not true. You see, minors can't consent to sex because they're emotionally and physiologically underdeveloped, meaning that they lack the capacity to fully understand what sex is and its emotional consequences. What makes child molestation so abhorrent is the betrayal of trust between a vulnerable child and an adult who has the responsibility of protecting them. This is where I get to Guts as a character. After Guts' actions led to Casca mentally regressing to the equivalence of a toddler, Guts took the responsibility of protecting her in this childlike mental state so that no harm would come to her. Then, in volume 23, he goes so far as to sexually assault Casca while wanting to rip her to shreds, taking advantage of her physical and emotional vulnerability. In this sense, Guts committed the moral equivalent of child molestation, because any reason that you could give for a toddler being unable to consent to sex is equally applicable to Casca in that state of mind. Guts is just as bad as a child molester, and that take got me banned from Real Life Ryan's Discord server. Apparently, so many people were distraught with me revealing this that they all collectively left the server, and Ryan had to do the noble duty of banning me to protect the reputation of a literal child molester. You know, I think I might be the only Berserk YouTuber with any moral integrity left.
Probably. Wasn't that just a thoroughly engaging video? My goodness. That was great. 62 comments. Jesus Christ. Tell me you didn't understand the manga without telling me you didn't. Oh no. What's the like to dislike ratio, I wonder? A lot of people like to believe ... but that's actually really not true. It is. It is music to my ears every time I hear it. He says it the same way every time. It's great. Bro Griffith literally knew what he was doing as femto. Look at this. This person clearly hasn't seen all the other Ciclet videos. Griffith is a complex character, same as Guts. Griffith was mentally fucked up after the torture. He was given the opportunity to speak. He was given an opportunity to speak, to walk, to breathe normal again, and he took it. But in those last moments, before being reborn, he thought about Guts because that's his only friend. Oh boy, we've got a whole argument here. Ciclet's getting involved. Crazy. Alright. That's me. Wait, what? Oh yeah, true, that's me. Thanks, Ciclet. I honestly thought Kyle would get really mad because you don't want to be associated with me. That is true. No, I'd be much more mad at you that you falsely claim me an anime and manga channel. Yeah. This bit is just ripped from the short. What bit? Which short? Wait, we've seen these, right? Look how bright this is. Wait, why is this camera quality better than the the video camera quality? I remember this. It's heartbreaking. Poor fella. Just think I have more viewers on this. Jeez. That's crazy to think about. This one's bad. No, they're great. Okay. Oh my goodness. How long have I been streaming? An hour and 20 minutes? Are we getting to the end? What the hell is this? Crazy. Alright, now we got Kyle's video, which I guess I'm just going to watch the first section. I don't think I'm definitely going to watch this whole thing. Let's see. So apparently there's a face reveal in this. I'm on the edge of my seat. What does Kyle Entertainment look like?
Last of Us Part 2 was officially introduced to the world.
No, let's go back.
The Last of Us Part 2 was officially introduced to the world on December 3rd at PSX 2016. Ah boy, I remember it like it was yesterday.
Oh my god.
And I tuned in with all the other kind of funny best friends to watch Greg.
Wait, is that... Okay, wait.
Tim and Colin react to the crown jewel of the event, the press conference, that was sure to have many exciting announcements and trailers for upcoming PlayStation titles. PlayStation was on top of the world in this moment. The PS4 was sizably...
I'm curious if that was the extent of it.
ahead. Xbox was the laughingstock of cynical internet gamers everywhere. The Switch hadn't come out yet, and PlayStation's reverent first-party studios and games...
I think the real question is, would I have recognized him if I didn't know?
...was starting to glide downfield at an unmatched pace. Bloodborne had come out the year before, and Uncharted 4 had sold gangbusters earlier in the year, and more was coming. This was most on show earlier in the year at their 2016 E3 press conference, which might just be my sleeper pick for the greatest E3 press conference of all time. I know people really like Nintendo 2004 and Sony 2013, and some might even prefer the Sony press conference from the year before, the 2015 one, but Sony 2016 is where it's at. The first announcement of God of War...
See, I know nothing about this, okay? Kyle's video is... Wait. Kyle's video is he uploaded PS4 Con 2016. Okay, I understand now. I don't even want Ari to watch this video. Kyle knows Ari will criticize the time wastage. Probably. That's it, Elite Ari. It is. Alright, let's go frame by frame, guys. Let's see what Kyle is doing. Turn it off. You wouldn't understand the genius of this great video. Don't worry, I will watch it off stream. Okay. What do you think Ciclet meant by that? Meant by what? I assume that you went over some press conference or something, right? Because you kept talking about how you're downloading footage for it. Anyway, let's watch this intro again.
The Last of Us Part 2 was
we
officially
don't need context.
Tim and Cole, the laughingstock, sold gangbusters earlier, and Sony...
Wait.
Ah boy, I remember it like it was yesterday.
Okay, I don't think that's Kyle. I think it's him. I think it's him, guys. Crazy, he's wearing a Pikachu. Is that Pikachu? Why are the eyes messed up? What is this? Wait. What Oh, the eyes messed off. Am I
The Last of Us
crazy?
Part 2 was officially introduced to the world on December 3rd at PSX 2016. Ah boy, I remember it like it was yesterday.
Oh, I guess it's just the frame overlapping, right? Crazy. Look at that. He has one of the, he has a light bulb that you screw in, unlike me, who has these down lights that are just so bright and amazing, you know? There he is nodding at us. What else can we analyze? What has he got in the background? Is that Pikachu? I can't even tell. Are these video games or books? Surely Kyle Entertainment doesn't read books. My goodness. Those are books, though. My goodness.
Across my head.
I was bold back then. This is a lie.
And I tuned in with
Crazy. Okay, we did it. It's so obscure. Ari's already seen my face. That is true. Hates memes. Wears a meme Pikachu shirt. He shouldn't be surprised. Yes, pretending. Hoodie in Australia. I'm not pretending here. It's crazy. That's Kyle Entertainment. I don't buy my shirt. I've got many books. Sure. I don't have any books. Look at my background. What do you guys see? You see nothing because I have nothing. All my possessions are on that side of the camera. Like my giant water bottle and my 3D printer. And my thing that tells me the temperature in my room. Fixing Ruby Volume 1 6 months ago. Okay. We made it through all the Orbiter videos. What is this? Oh, it's the long video Miller was telling me about. Reviewing every My Hero Academia arc. Act 3 of 3. Oh yeah, I do have something to talk about. I was curious, because I was like, I think, yeah, today I did this. I was like, oh, what do people think about My Hero Academia? I think we've done this on stream as well, but like, you know what, people like it. It's gotten better over time. That's pretty crazy, isn't it? Like season 1, pretty good. Season 2, it's a little bit worse. Season 3, pretty good. Season 4, even better. Season 5, oh, you know, it's like probably the worst of all of them. And then season 6, oh my gosh, it's the best season ever. Oh my gosh, it's so great. Season 7, oh my god, it's right up there as well. So I guess the normie audience, you know, they love recent My Hero Academia way better than early My Hero Academia. So, yep. You know what? Even popularity-wise, this is a pretty good curve, considering the more recent stuff is going to have less votes because it came out more recently. You know, this isn't that bad. So who knew that My Hero Academia was actually really good? I sent some great videos. I'm sure you did. No one rates stuff on IMDb. Well, that's the whole point, right? We want an opinion. We want the opinions of people who aren't like the mainstream anime fans. We just want the normie audience who goes to IMDb to rate things. I sent good Lord of the Rings. I'm not watching a Lord of the Rings video, okay? Not even really about Lord of the Rings. Really interesting media analysis. No, I'm good. True, Miller, true. Alidari loves it for some reason, though. My Hero Academia or IMDb? I love IMDb because it like gives you ratings for stuff. It's very useful, you know. It's not a video you need to like. Well, I'm not watching a Lord of the Rings video. Oh my god. I don't know why you want me to watch this. It's 20 minutes. Could the Lord of the Rings ever be remastered? The answer is yes. Okay, obviously. Use AI. AI can do it. Anyway, we're not watching this either, but reviewing every My Hero. What does he say at the end? Does he cry? Does he say, this is my life and it's over and it's a new chapter despite how bad it was and everything?
Like it's a salaried position, Pearl collection about the harassment they receive. And when you look at
oh, great, it's a meta thing. Okay. Good.
There's no harassment, just people posting on their own personal Twitter page, which somehow hurts their feelings. As the series made it clear it was leaning towards its very safe, neoliberal approach to its political aspects, this rightward shift was very represented by the community, as they slowly began to develop a disdain for the core tenets of art itself, denying any and all interpretations and rejecting any real-life or political foundation for the contents of this manga, something that was frankly just made worse by Spinner's book being treated like a fart in the wind. The story is weirdly adamant about society burying the tragedy and importance of the League, which just further goes back so far deep, while Midoriya never paid for that. And self-worth issues. The saving the villains plotline was largely irrelevant, and so much more. I know that My Hero Academia can still have more content, spin-offs, future movies, and the soon-to-be volume extras in December, but I'm done. I'm not gonna wait for that. In the lead up to this video's release, I had all my friends who worked on this send me a message to the community that I posted every day until it came out, and I'll try and keep logs of those in the description if you're interested, but I never posted mine. My Hero Academia played a forever important role in where I am today. Without it, I wouldn't have been able to build a Twitter platform that led to the YouTube channel you are all watching right now. It brought me to a place I had always dreamed of when I was younger. It brought me so many people that I consider friends. It was Sakura-sensei, Gyro, Baba, Naya, Bronny, Kappa, Sync, and so many others. When I first started My Hero Academia, I stumbled upon Ocean's videos about the series, which really helped me build a deeper understanding and appreciation of its earlier content. He's the kind of guy where I look at his content and go, I hope I can ever make anything.
Oh look, it's Vouch. Oh my gosh.
as great as he has, and has largely inspired me to do what I'm doing now, and I'm glad someone so inspirational is someone I can call a friend now as well. This series helped me build a community that plays a part in my everyday life, full of people that are understanding, accepting, and fun to speak with. There are all kinds of things about this community that I'm grateful for, but there are a lot I'm not. I wanted to make this final part for myself largely uplifting and positive, but the fact of the matter is, there are many people out there that engage in My Hero Academia that I am grateful to never have to see or speak to again. A lot of genuinely vile, cruel, and mean-spirited people that I hope can find something else in their life that doesn't make them so toxic. I wish I could...
Wait, is he talking about Miller the Killer right now? That's crazy. Oh my god. No way, right?
But I have not been given a reason to. As for the series itself, I'm indifferent. I would say I'm thankful for introducing me to so many story ideas that I found captivating. If I didn't then find other stories that executed far better, I would say I'm thankful for it giving me so many fun and unique characters if it didn't kill them in front of me for the last 4 years. I would say I loved its social commentary if it ever tried to say anything meaningful. I would say I'm grateful for it giving me all these great people in my life if I didn't watch them feel hurt and betrayed by its final stretch. Do I have any thanks to say to Kohei Horikoshi? I guess. Thank you for nothing, but also thank you for everything. And for the series
that's great.
That shaped my young adult life, I guess that's all this video is about.
Alright, then very cute edits. Great, okay. Poor guy. Poor guy. My goodness. Anyway. The only people voting on anime IMDb pages are diehard fans or haters. Or just like, you know, normal IMDb people, I'm sure. I sent a much better My Hero video. I'm sure you did. Oh, and it's only 51 minutes long. The propaganda of My Hero Academia. Who is this? Huey Newton? Who is that? Oh, it's a black revolutionary. What is a black revolutionary? The task is to transform society. Only the people can do that. Not heroes, not celebrities, not stars. Oh, wow. Lamau clicked the perfect part. The community had a rightward shift, Lamau. My Hero is so right-wing. The Russians paid for it. Okay, very funny. I think the best thing I ever did was not get involved in the My Hero community. It's so great. What a great decision. That 1 year break, getting to read all the final stuff in one go was the best thing I ever did. I'm so happy. And it's completely just solidified in my mind that the worst thing to ever happen to any story ever is a weekly release. Put them out all at once. Only watch things that are finished. That's the best way to do things. Because my goodness. A weekly release makes people a lot dumber, so we love it.
My Hero Academia is an anime that's beloved by fans. It's an anime that inspires and motivates its viewers to go beyond, but its core political message...
Is that true? Has My Hero ever inspired me, I wonder? Let's see that again.
My Hero Academia is an anime that's beloved by fans. It's an anime that inspires and motivates its viewers to go beyond, but its core...
I agree with this, okay? I'm not gonna even... I think it's an inspirational anime, especially if you're a kid, you know?
Our political message is filled to the brim with propaganda, and its later attempts to flesh out its villains.
Oh wait, propaganda? Well, I thought... Oh, I thought this was coping. You mean like cop, like propaganda for police? Is that what this is about? Oh boy, okay.
Falls flat.
Is that what... I don't know what this word means. Am I meant to know? Propaganda. Propaganda efforts to shape public opinion about police or counter criticism. Oh, great. Okay.
Propaganda in anime isn't a new phenomenon, but most of these animes critique...
It's phenomenon, right?
The police and the systems of justice.
Am I crazy? Maybe it is phenomena. Maybe I'm the one who's wrong. I don't know. My grammar's not the best, I guess. But no, not propaganda, copaganda. I figured it out. Okay. Oh, you agree with us, Ruther, on the weekly thing? That's good. I'm glad. I have a big ally, a big strong ally like him. I'm starting to get sleepy, Lidar. It's late. True, it is. He said weekly manga is anti-art and nothing good can come out of it. Okay, well, I don't know about that. All the police characters are boring though. I can name 2 police characters, okay? We have Tsukauchi, if that's how you say it, and Sansa. Those are the only 2 I know, and they're both very minor.
this by
But I assume he's gonna say, "Oh my gosh, you know, heroes they're like cops and they have to get licensed, but they abuse their power, and oh my gosh, we don't like them."
delving into the grey as they challenge the typical conservative black and white, good versus evil, order versus chaos, perspectives on crime. The grey, the nuance, the complexity of crime simply doesn't exist in My Hero Academia. They're simply good and evil, heroes versus villains. Before any of you jump me for calling your favorite anime a piece of propaganda.
This is like he's setting it up, right? The setup. By the end of this, he's obviously going to show that that's not the case. Obviously, not all characters are good and evil, but yeah,
I'm
let's
asking
see.
you to just let me explain how the hero system functions as a tool of repression. My fancy pants source for this first part will stem from George L. Jackson's Blood in My Eye. Once that foundation is set, I'll finally be able to explain why Stain was right, but also why My Hero Academia's villains kind of just suck.
Wow.
In the final part, I want to entertain an alternative. What My Hero Academia could have been. A lost future. Before we jump into
Oh wow, that's like a reference. Do you guys get that one? Because like Night Eye or whatever, he died and he had the future stuff.
Subscribe and leave a beautiful comment on your thoughts on My Hero Academia or propaganda and anime in general.
How long is this section?
We begin with a line.
This is a line. A thin blue line. But what is a thin blue line?
For a good chunk of the series run, Kohei Horikoshi demonstrates
this line better not be here for this whole section.
Little sympathy for villains, and rather runs with the initial role of heroes in society, which is to curb chaos by enforcing order. The hero system is first introduced in the first episode, where the fanboy Midoriya observes a bunch of heroes fighting and stomping a monstrous, rampaging villain. There is no depth here. The villain is simply evil because he's injecting chaos into a civil, orderly society, and thus he must be repressed with force, with a thin, blue line. For the first bit of My Hero Academia, viewers must sit and watch Deku fanboy over heroes who repress villains like cops. His admiration for these cops spurs on his dream to become the #1 hero. I have to admit, when I first watched My Hero Academia, it was inspirational. You have a main character who's quirkless and weak and a crybaby, yet he pushes on to save his friend. And the training he goes through, right, it's motivational. However, the early message of My Hero Academia, the foundation and the reasoning for why hero system must exist, why heroes must enforce and repress villains, carries on, and is brought back in the final chapters. Although Hirokoshi midway through injects some complexities into his villains, and has Midoriya skew away from All Might's teachings, it all falls short because of the thin blue line. Hirokoshi midway through must have realized that for a good chunk—
Is this blue line like a thing is this like an established media thing that I just don't know about, or is he introducing this?
His manga, it was too black and white and simple, but since he started the manga with the introduction of a thin blue line, he couldn't change the course of My Hero Academia or critique the system.
I feel like it has to be a thin blue line. I feel like this just exists, right? It's like a thing. Oh, it's a police thing? Wait, what? The concept of the police is the line between law and order? Okay, crazy.
What am I even talking about?
Sure.
The justification for the existence of heroes in society is that without these enforcers of the law, society would fall into utter chaos. All Might in the second episode introduces his philosophy that there needs to be a symbol of peace to deter villains from causing chaos, and he pulls a random-ass crime statistic right out of his ass. All Might is basically the embodiment of the American justice system, as whenever he actually confronts villains who have legitimate concerns about the system, he just calls them all crazy. They're just a bunch of children, a bunch of terrorists. Thus, Hirokoshi
Alright. What does this channel make? Attack on Titan and the Road to Fascism, Lost Future. Media literacy is dead. Attack on Titan is still fascist. How did you find this channel, Kyle? Political Zionism in Palestine, an extensive history. Oh boy. Vinland Saga 2, Season 2, is goddamn peak. Oh my gosh, look at that. Violence done right. The cop again, that's what we just saw. You're all wrong about bad anime dads, from the frontier to the manosphere. I don't know, maybe this is like a 17-year-old or something? I don't know. Let him have his fun, okay? I'm sure it was a good video. I just don't have the patience for it, okay? I don't care about the themes in My Hero Academia. All the police characters are boring though. This guy is so serious. Episode. Oh, he's stupid. Wait, what did he say? The chapters are episodes. That's like a direct translation, I think. So if he said that, he's not wrong about that. You're supposed to go into this video hating cops, Ari, so pretend, okay? Thin blue line is a guy. Don't worry, I figured all this out, okay? I'm pretty big brain, actually. It sounds like a dog whistle. It does, actually. That's what I was thinking this whole time. Like, what is this thin blue line thing? You watched the FMA video on stream, right? Did I? Maybe Kyle did? I don't know. The militarism of Full Metal I don't remember if I did. Maybe. I watched one of them. It's just the lefty elite RE. Mr. R could defend this video for us. I don't necessarily have a problem with it. It just sounded very, 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 very incredibly boring. Okay, that's why I stopped watching it. But I don't know. Maybe it's actually good. You know, maybe it was his first video, right? No. Oh, it's his most it's his most recent video. I don't know. I don't know. Okay, I don't know. Anyway, what else have we got? Is there anything else I have to do? We got a few videos. Oh, we got the blind wave stuff. Okay. I'm gonna go to the bathroom and then I'll be back. And then, you know, maybe I'll stream a little bit more. Where's my pause screen? There you go. Enjoy it. Alright, I'm back. Isn't that crazy? That was so quick, wasn't it, guys? Was the blind wave re-reaction good, Ari? Why doesn't he play anything for us when he leaves? You know, because I don't want to steal people's content, you know? Oh my god, blind wave's high reaction had no full length. Must have said some wild stuff they don't want us to see, maybe. Or maybe they forgot because they were high. They didn't record the whole thing. I haven't seen the reaction yet. But for context for people, blind wave is re-reacting to Black Sails.
Hey guys,
Where is it? Here it is. So we got Eric from Blind Wave, who's already seen Black Sails. We got Jancy, who is, these two are married. And then we got Jake, who I don't exactly know. I know he's an employee of Blind Wave. I don't know what his like role is or whatever, but he's an employee. And now he's reacting, and Jancy's reacting, and it's crazy. They're all reacting here. And it's a rewatch series, and I basically have no motivation to watch this. I don't know why, I just... Maybe because I recently rewatched Black Sails, now I'm just like, you know. If I wanted to watch a Black Sails reaction, I'd probably go back to their original reaction. I don't know. But I have no issue with this, you know. I know Miller the Killer has a big issue because apparently this, you know, could be taking a slot from something else that could be reacted to. This doesn't bother me. I don't care. But yeah, Miller the Killer left a comment on this as well. Crazy. Oh my god, the high reaction. Is that true? They don't have a full length for that, I wonder.
I actually enjoy it.
Also, I'm a genius, by the way. You know, like 2 streams ago, or maybe last stream, I was like, oh my gosh, I pieced together that in like 5 years, Jake is going to be a full member of the crew. You know, it took less than 5 years. It looks like he's basically becoming a member now. So, crazy. Let's see. I don't even know where I'd look for this. What's their movie section, right? No, where's their full length? Reactions, movies. I guess it's just not on here. I don't know. Maybe, I have no idea. Did you enjoy our first high and dry video? No, there's gonna be more. There's no way that, is this like... Okay, wait a minute.
The ramp up. Right, if I smoke.
Why didn't I hear a thing just there?
I actually enjoy the ramp up. Right, if I smoke, it happens real quickly. It's the same thing when I take a bath. Actually, I like to be in the bath as it fills. I don't want it to fill for me. Then I get in.
That's insane.
I love doing it. Hey guys, for a blind wave, I'm Eric. Rick. Jake. Aaron. And yes, you read the title correctly. This is not a reaction. This is High and Dry, where we review something, that we've previously seen before. But there's an added...
Oh. I thought this was like an original reaction. So they're starting a series where they're reacting to things, but they're high? I can understand, I guess, from a like business perspective. I can understand this, right? If you release stuff that is very popular, like Black Sails, I don't know how popular Black Sails was, but and also I can understand because Eric loves it. This is like a passion thing or whatever. But if you did react to things, you would probably get a lot of views. Like if they reacted to Avatar: The Last Airbender, that's like guaranteed you're gonna get viewers from like new audiences and stuff. And if you're high, it's like an appeal. People are gonna be like, oh my god, people when they're high, they're funny, you know? It's gonna be funny reaction. I get it from a business sense. I just don't get it from like Blind Wave's perspective. As far as I understand, they're like their rationale behind the channel, like why it exists, is because they enjoy watching things and they enjoy discussing things about the stuff that they've seen. So I don't quite understand how, from their perspective, it would be more interesting to rewatch something high than it would be to just watch something new. But I mean, if they enjoy this, then I guess they enjoy it. But yeah. But I don't know, it seems a bit silly to me, but they would know better than me, I guess. Why doesn't he play anything for us? I read that already. And Miller's got a problem with it. Jake and Debaba won me over with kindness. Okay, let's go to the comment. Let's see if we can find it. Where's the Mill of Killer comment? Eric could... Wait, no, we watched Black Sails ages ago. Well, it feels like only yesterday. Eric could solo react to One Piece during this time. True, he could. No one cares about One Piece. Oh no, I didn't know that either. My comment was right. They are recycling content. Yeah, it is. That's pretty crazy. It is also crazy because they just have so little time, right? Like they got so many other things that they... like that are on their radar that people want them to watch, but no, but I don't know. They know their schedule better than me. People would be mad if their movie got picked, but they were high. Yeah, they probably would be mad, especially if it's like a serious movie, I guess. Lamau, are you realizing there's no passion left at Blind Wave? I think there's still a lot of passion. But this is a baffling choice, I guess. Passion is very important, isn't it, Miller? It's separated the soul from the soulless. That is true. What are you even getting at, Kyle? I think Kyle is just philosophizing here. Anyway, where's this Miller comment? These famous guys. I think he got like a lot of thumbs ups as well. Is this the right video? Here it is, 7 thumbs ups. Today was my birthday. Oh yeah, wish Miller a happy birthday, guys, by the way. Today was my birthday, and unfortunately my day is a little worse after seeing this upload. After decades of seeing remake culture slowly consume the film and video game industries, I'm once again reminded that even Blind Wave isn't safe from this death of creativity. Very disappointing that not only do my favorite shows have to compete against other unreacted to shows for Blind Wave's attention, but also shows they've already reacted to. Hope you guys can consider this mindset moving forward, and make sure you guys have a great weekend. I appreciate all you do. So look at that. Crazy. A wild comment from Mill the Killer. Weird. Someone's calling him a conservative. That's really funny. I saw the same thing, the same comment on a A Blind Waves Reddit post. Oh, what was it? It was like a thing that got 0 up. No, it was like a really controversial one. And someone called them weird. And then I clicked their profile and they were like very into politics. And I was like, oh boy, this is like a dog whistle thing. What was it? Would it even be up here? Was it this one? No. Because we looked at this on the stream, right? I'm not going to be able to find it. Umbrella Academy? Was it this one? I think it was this. One of these. Stop being weird. It's like it's so funny. Anyway, crazy. Do they not watch enough anime for you people? Jesus Christ. True, Miller's getting destroyed here. Are these anime fans in the room with us now? Look at this. 3 upvotes for Miller. Miller's winning this argument. This isn't a remake of content or take away. Oh, this is Jake, by the way, the guy in the video. This isn't a remake of content or take away from any other content that they would put out. This is scheduled in times that other members are not available to film, so they wouldn't be filming anything else when this is getting done. It does not compete with anything. It's only additional. And then Miller the Killer with 4 thumbs ups says, gotcha. Thanks for clarifying that. Good luck on your audition series for official 5th member of the Blind Wave crew. Hope it goes well. Now, my reading of this is that Miller is being incredibly sarcastic here. And this is completely like trying to insult him by saying this. But I don't know, maybe he's being honest here. That was my reading at least. And then Jake replies, oh, I wouldn't say I'm auditioning for a 5th spot at all. I'm just helping fill gaps and offer help where they can. So an earnest reply here. And then Dababa, who is, I think, engaged to Jake, so these two are engaged, says, hope you had a great birthday. True. I hope you guys are all wishing Miller a happy birthday, by the way, right now. And that you give this series a try with Jancy and Jake. Look at this. And then we have a great Blind Wave fan. If you're really this butthurt, then go follow someone else. Nobody will care if you're gone, bud. So destroyed. But I guess Miller wins here. I think he somehow got a bunch of thumbs ups on all his comments here, so good for him. Miller, you're just not on my level. You've already been defeated and don't even know it. You've got to sing happy birthday to Silopilled. Oh yeah, true, it is Silopilled's birthday. Happy birthday if you're here. Did you upvote my Reddit post, Dari? No, I didn't. I did know you had one because you apparently got 0 upvotes or something, right? Just like me, just like my Reddit post. I need it. The guy who replied complaining about them reacting to anime also replied to another comment saying the same thing, but that guy didn't even have an anime PFP unhinged. That is true. I mean, it's the eternal thing. There's always been a divide between the live action and anime people in the Blind Wave comment sections. It'll never go away. Why would they respond to obvious retardation? Makes me think less of this guy. Because they're... It's a good question. Probably just bothers them. They probably read it and they're like, oh, this bothers me. I better reply to this. That's honestly probably what that was. They probably didn't have a big strategy behind it or anything. Or maybe someone in the Discord linked this and they're all discussing it in the Blind Wave Discord. They're like, how could this guy say this? And then they decided to take action, but I doubt it. Anyway, look at all these comments. My goodness. I wonder if Miller's the only hater. Oh, what is this? I was really excited for this until I saw it was Jake. Dude is a little jerk on Reddit, and one of the last things I want to do is feel his emotions in these reactions. Bad move. Too bad it wasn't a better crew. No offense to Jancy. Jake is kind of a jerk. This is crazy. Oh my goodness. I didn't know people hate Jake that much. They don't have that active of a subreddit for people to be that mad. It's kind of crazy. I wonder if Jake just did something to offend this guy personally. I recently watched it. Okay, no. I really need Eric's shirt. Would Black Sails be the first show the Blind Wave has reacted to more than once? I feel like that's almost not the case. Clone Wars, they reacted to twice for the season 7 stuff. Is there anything else? Surely there's other stuff, right? I don't know. Oh, yeah, Game of Thrones, I guess. Yeah, that's true. Looks like mostly positive stuff. Miller bothers me too. Oh my god, I want to see Jake be a jerk on Reddit. Well, you could just look at his profile, I guess. Game of Thrones. What did he say on my... Did he say anything on my post that I made? Wait, it's not Elite Ari 1, right? It's just Elite Ari. No, it's not Elite Ari. Wait a minute. Oh, no, it's not a subreddit. It's a username. So, you know, I got deleted from the Normies one, of course. And the Blind Wave one got 6. Did Jake say anything, I wonder? Absolutely not. He wasn't brave enough. I still can't believe. Oh, I got a heart. Look at this. That's cute. But also, I can't believe 0 upvotes, and then that other one got like 20 something, and it was the exact same thing. My goodness. Oh, and then we got my old posts. What have I got? What are my like most popular posts I've ever made? I got that. They might be spoilers actually, so maybe don't read them. Bro got. Oh, it's a Destiny post. Bro got the Otto Octavius fit. True. I got another Destiny post, an artistic rendition of Corantos according to Photoshop's AI. True, this was the height of AI. My goodness. What is Fujimoto implying? I'm scared to click this. What is this? I guess Chainsaw Man spoilers, guys. Oh, just like a meme thing. Okay, funny. Mushoku Tensei, something I animated. Another one. Oh, look at this. An AI thing 2 years ago. Favorite panel. Manga readers, I guess Vinland spoilers. Manga readers, the next few chapters. Is this going to be really bad? What is this? Oh yeah, my meme. Very funny meme. This is violence. Yep, crazy. Another Destiny meme. Oh, they got Mushoku Tensei stuff. Blind Wave. 44 upvotes, not bad. Black Sails. Attack on Titan, what is this? Oh, something. Crazy, I'm a Redditor. Who knew? Game of Thrones. True. Can't believe they did all of Rebels twice. Most episodes are boring as. I guess, yeah, Rebels is a good example. I don't think Rebels is boring. Rebels was fun. Watching the Olympics as an adult. Can't relate. Okay, what's next on the list? And what time is it actually? Okay, I still got a little bit of time. Oh, I've missed out on the trend here, but there was a whole thing about how YouTube live streaming is dead or something. Ludwig and Critical made a video. Dead YouTube.
Have you been noticing this trend where people who are signed to YouTube...
It's old news, you know, I'm not that interested anymore, but this was like a thing. There's also the Nikocado thing. Nikocado avocado. I've seen this everywhere. He's like skinny now. The only reason I know about this guy is from the H3 podcast. Like they had a beef with him at some point, but it was like kind of fake, but kind of not fake. But look, he was like fat, and now look at him. He's like skinny. Oh my gosh, isn't that crazy? He like lost weight. Did you guys know? Now on top of this, we've also got, more importantly, you know the new Mr. Beast video today? Men versus women, survive the wilderness for $500,000. We should watch one of these on stream once, like when it comes out. I should save it for stream. We should just watch it. Because I usually have thoughts of like things I should say during it. But the main thing I discovered at this point, and I already said this to Kyle and Minty when it was brought up, but Mr. Beast storytelling is the layer 2 of discourse when we're talking about Minty's layers. So when it comes to the layers of discourse, okay, if you watch Kyle Entertainment has a video about this. I don't know if I'm going to be able to remember which one. Kyle Entertainment. Something Levi related, right? Oh, Minty's 3 layers, yeah. So he has this whole thing in here if you want to watch it. But these are the layers, okay? Number 1, a basic statement. X thing is good. Layer 2, an antagonistic criticism of layer 1. Well, actually, X thing is bad for this reason. Then layer 3, she has the same opinion as layer 1, but with better reasoning and self-awareness. Well, actually, X thing is good for this, and this reason. So very loosely speaking, the narrativizing within this Mr. Beast video, and all of his videos are extremely layer 2, where he thinks he's clever, but he's not. Like, the storytelling is not clever, but it clearly is trying to be clever, but in a very layer 2 way, like a very reactionary to layer 1 kind of way, where it's very obvious that he's trying to subvert your expectations. It's like whenever the story is trying to tell you that things are going to go a certain way, you can be basically 100% confident that they're going to go the other way. And the go-to example is at the end, there's two teams, boys and girls, right? And he's focusing on basically the whole ends bit of the video is focusing on telling you that a certain team, I don't want to spoil the video for you, but a certain gender, he's focusing on it as though they're about to give up and they're losing and they're doing really bad. And he's implying that, oh my gosh, we're going to get the reveal in a few seconds and it's going to reveal that that team who was struggling lost. But obviously, because he's building it up, we know with 100% confidence, basically, that obviously the other team won. Because why else would he'd be building this up as for an obvious subversion that's going to happen? And it's the most layer 2 thing ever. And I think it's the reason that I just hate the storytelling in these videos. It's the worst thing he ever did. The videos were so much better before he introduced storytelling into them. Yeah. But I don't know, I guess people like it. Anyway. Just a thing I thought about. But yeah, take a guess, guys. Who do you think won this, I guess? Can't believe I read that already. It's so late, Alidari. I need to sleep. It's not even late. It's just past 11 here. I didn't know about any of this. Do you think the Mr. Beast is even responsible for the story anymore? He probably is at maybe. I don't know, actually. I'm not sure. I'm sure he is responsible for it in that he would have to approve it in the end. I doubt he... I would assume it's probably pretty similar to how... no, I don't know. I would assume some other people come up with it, in the edit, and he just or maybe he gets a bunch of parallel stories that are all kind of extracted, and maybe he does the final approval or something. I don't know. He's not directly responsible, but he is obviously approves every video that comes out. Mr. Beast is a bad guy. Is that true? Why do you think that? Priam is here saying, "Oh my god, I can't figure out which team would be expected to lose." Well, I mean in the final section you'll see which one would be expected to lose. We've learned exactly how his company works now because of all the great investigations. Interesting. What were the worst of the things he did, I wonder? He stole ideas? Oh wow, that's crazy. Oh my gosh, Battlefront 2? Defend this base in the name of the First Order. Anyway, that was Mr. Beast. What else is there? I don't got nothing to say about Nikocado Avocado. I've only watched him indirectly through H3. But he's skinny now. Oh my gosh. Do you think there's a non-zero chance that he actually has a terminal illness and he's dying? And everyone's so proud of his weight loss, but actually in a month from now he'll be dead or something? It's not impossible, right? It'd be pretty crazy. Okay, we talked about the Black Sails thing, the Blind Wave thing. It's actually all the topics I have. What videos have we got? Let's see. The Anywave shutdown situation explained. Oh, I have blocked so many people on Twitter. And when I say blocked, I mean mute, because I don't block people anymore. In regards to being very pro-piracy in this regard. My goodness. But that's okay. Mr. Beast is a bad... I read this already. He stole ideas. He hired a registered MT fan. Oh my goodness, that's crazy. But he's fired now. How did you get registered for that? No idea. And his CEO beat women and dogs. Is that true? Are you alleging that right here, Kyle? Or is this is that true or not? Except that was disproven. Okay, interesting. This video is truly abysmal. I'm sure it will be. Anyone who makes a video about this, I'm sure it will be. But let's see. The Anywave shutdown situation explained.
You've probably already heard the news that has more or less You've probably already heard the news that has more or less shaken the anime piracy scene. Some of the biggest streaming sites have been taken down completely, and if you go to Anywave, you'll see a message talking about how long it's been and how proud they are of the work they've done, but it's time to go, and they tack on a message at the very end telling you to use legal paid services. Anywave was by far the most popular and most expansive streaming site, with probably hundreds of thousands, if not millions.
I've actually never heard of it. I've heard of 9anime. Is this a rebranded 9anime or something? I don't know. Yeah, I've never heard of Anywave.
And probably the largest catalog of over 12,000 anime. Now, let's not mince.
Is that a lot or not many? I don't know how many anime there are.
Here. We knew the risks. Platforms like Anywave or any other platform that I will not mention the name of just in case were sites that existed to circumvent page.
I mean, I guess it's not that crazy, but because you could be kind of construed as directing people to it if you're just saying the name, but I feel like you probably should be able to say the name.
Streaming services and did violate multiple big companies' copyright. Anywave shutting down wasn't a matter of if, but when. And this is the company's attempts to stop this piracy. However, there is a quote that a lot of you are probably already familiar with.
There's no way his videos are usually this like low quality, right? This is the Chainsaw Man. No, this isn't the Chainsaw Man guy. I'm thinking of someone else. Who makes the Chainsaw Man videos? Wait. He's not even Australian. I'm thinking of the Australian guy. You know the guy who makes the weekly Chainsaw Man videos where he like says nothing the whole time? I guess like us, like me and Kyle, we do the same thing, but Chainsaw Man 176? I guess spoilers, guys, if you're for Chainsaw Man, don't look, but who's the guy? Oh, Sufferance. I thought these were the same people. Sufferance and...
I'm sorry if I
whatever this guy was. Asaratha HS.
sound very unenthusiastic.
Yep, he does. Crazy. I don't know why they were the same thing, but...
familiar with, especially if you are deeply entrenched in anime, gaming, or music communities. Gabe Newell, the co-founder and president of Valve, the company that created the biggest video game distribution platform ever, had this to say about piracy. The easiest way to stop piracy is not by putting anti-piracy technology to work, it's by giving those people a service that's better than what they're receiving from pirates. And as we watch multiple anime and manga sites get taken down, we have to sit back and think about one question. What do the legal paid anime sites do better than the pirate sites? Maybe it's easier to ask what they don't do better. First, if you want to engage in legal anime consumption, let's take a look at your options. High dive? Well, if you're using an app that people are complaining about right now having a direct...
Wait, what? Am I crazy? Wait, what did he say?
...do better than the pirate sites. Maybe it's easier to ask what they don't do better. First, if you want to engage in legal anime consumption, let's take a look at your options.
Say legal or illegal?
Engage in legal anime consumption, let's take a look at your options.
Isn't it just Crunchyroll? Is there? I didn't even know there were other things.
High dive? Well,
I've vaguely heard of High
Dive. If you're using an app that people are complaining about right now having a drastically downsized scope that stops servicing non-English...
Why wouldn't you just talk about Crunchyroll?
...countries, and people are speculating how long the site even has left, well, maybe we don't want to use that one. How about Netflix or Amazon? Well, then you're running into an issue of an extremely limited catalog. How about...
Is he like building up
Funimation?
the...
Oh, dang it. Well, I guess it's Crunchyroll or nothing. And
yeah,
I don't think that when people imagine the ideal platform, Crunchyroll is what comes to mind. You could argue that...
I feel like of all the streaming services I watch, I think Crunchyroll is the best. Like, without a doubt. Like, it's the most responsive. It has the largest... Whenever I want to find something, it always has it. Pretty much, always. What else could you want? What other features could you possibly want? It's responsive. It has, like, you can easily change between sub and dub. It has subtitles. What else could you possibly want? I wonder what he's going to say. What's wrong with Crunchyroll? I guess you have to pay for it. But, like, that's, like, the whole thing, right? What else could there... I'm sure there's something. What could he have? The comments are gone, but, like... I mean, I guess technically that's something that you could have on piracy side. I don't know. I just don't care about the comments, I guess. I don't know.
That Crunchyroll...
Like, I don't know. Jesus.
...has the benefit of supporting industry workers like translators and localizers, because now that it's a paid and official service, the people doing this work can actually get paid for the work they do, if they weren't horribly underpaid, with older reports giving translators $80
okay.
per episode, and you can find out more about this in my other videos, or you can also watch this video by the Canapa Effect.
What's that to do with the service?
Link in the description. You could argue that it has the benefit of propping up the dub industry, you know, making it more accessible than ever before.
Wait, what's wrong with the service? Surely he'll get to that, right?
If Crunchyroll wasn't partaking in anti-union activities by firing beloved voice actors for fighting for more pay, and also...
The whole, this Gabe Newell quote was saying that you give people a better service. The people aren't going to care about what's going on in the background, right? All they care about is the service, which is like what the experience is when you're using the platform, right? Or am I misinterpreting? The easiest way to stop piracy is not by putting anti-piracy technology to work. It's by giving these people a service that's better than what they're receiving from the pirates. Yeah, obviously that's what's going on here, right? Anyway.
Making it more accessible than ever before. If Crunchyroll wasn't partaking in anti-union activities by firing beloved voice actors for fighting for more pay, and also paying voice actors for films sometimes as low as $150, despite films like Jujutsu Kaisen 0 grossing over $30 million in the United States.
Don't care. Service good. Service good. Don't care.
The benefit of a well-designed platform as they
don't care.
Professional designers and engineers to support it. Just don't go to the Crunchyroll subreddit and find a wealth of people mad about everything. Dragon Ball Z dub has no subs. Why are English subtitles so wrong? Out of sync subtitles. You guys keep deleting my wish list. Only Japanese audio not working. Please.
I don't know how common this is, but you know what? I don't think I've ever experienced an issue with subtitles on Crunchyroll.
Quality of life changes in this platform.
Maybe I don't watch enough anime. Maybe that's a thing. I don't know.
Count. App's so slow, and that you just have this guy down here screaming, things aren't going well. You could argue that Crunchyroll could be used to foster a sense of official community, but now Crunchyroll has removed comments from their website. Not to say
there's no way that's going to be the entire section that he talks about the actual thing, right?
That anime comments are the peak of intellectual thought, and the circumstances that led to them removing the comments is pretty unfortunate, but it's an element that is now gone for good. You could argue that you feel much more safe with your data going to a big corporation rather than some private owner of a pirate website, though I don't know if anyone would ever actually say that, especially...
I would absolutely trust my information going through... I would not put my credit card in a piracy website, but I absolutely would put it in Crunchyroll, and I think you would be absolutely insane to think otherwise, but...
You feel much more safe with your data going to a big corporation rather than some private owner of a pirate website, though I don't know if anyone would ever actually say that, especially with Crunchyroll in 2022 knowingly violating the Video Privacy Protection Act and selling their consumers' personally identifiable information.
Well, like my credit card? They're selling my credit card? Is that what he's saying? There's no way, right?
Consent from consumers to advertisers.
What personal information do they have? My name? My phone number? And they're selling it to advertisers, not to like random people, right?
Your biggest legal alternative is a platform riddled with technical issues of workers' abuse, getting into its own data scandals, and one that regularly raises its prices outside of what people are willing to pay as it acts actively hostile to the consumer and the industry it claims to support. So, when you think of the Gabe Newell quote listed earlier, you don't have to wonder why anime piracy is so popular, especially when you remember that anime in the West is an industry...
This guy's an idiot. I don't usually say that, but like... But maybe I don't know, maybe I need to watch this, you know, when I'm on my own, when I'm calmer, you know, maybe I'll have a better opinion. But I feel like this is like one of the worst videos I've ever seen.
That started because of illegal fan subs, something Crunchyroll knows very well because that is how their website started, as they used to steal fan subs to put on their platform. Because anime in the West has always...
Or maybe he's really young? Like he's like, again, like 16 or something?
Largely been an issue of accessibility and affordability. So while companies like to pretend that piracy is a new sweeping issue of the internet era, it's the same thing that has always been the case for this medium. Now, I would be remiss to not include the fact that we don't actually know for sure if Anywave was hit with a cease and desist. If you look at the posts made by the Anywave moderation staff here, they weren't told why the site was shut down and have almost no contact with the admin or the staff. My personal speculation is that them pimping out these legal paid sites here at the end of their goodbye message kinda sends a clear sign that they were shut down, but again, that's just my speculation, and we don't actually know for sure what happened until we find legal documents or someone speaks out. There is also...
Okay, I'm curious. If anyone here... Does anyone agree with this, I guess, with his take here? Because I would be interested to talk about this. Because I feel like my feelings aren't that well fleshed out. And I would be interested to like debate someone on this, I guess. Because maybe he is right. Maybe I'm having too strong of an opinion without having a basis. I don't know. Okay. Sufferance, true. Wait, no. I love piracy because I love stealing, true. You wouldn't download a floppy disk, that's also true. I love Moist Critical. Anywave is 9 anime, I think. There's like 79 animes. Why is that? That all look the same, and Anywave is the original. Sufferance, aka Dress Rosa. We found them in the end. Why this guy always talking about anime? Go back to Hearthstone. Chibi Reviews has a better video on this subject. I'm sure he does. Crunchyroll is evil, Ari. Well, they provide a good service though. Crunchyroll is the only streaming service that let me choose its video quality. That is actually also true. I do value that a lot. He's just copying Digibro from back when Crunchyroll was bad. Ari needs to watch Dear Crunchyroll Stop again. No, I'm good, okay. Translators are better paid on pirate sites. I wouldn't find that too crazy. I just don't care. Priam is using a Hulk emoji or something? I don't even know what that is. A green crazy emoji. Ari doesn't care about service. All I care is about service. I don't care about work. It's true. In this case, I don't. I would rather have a good service, you know, in this case. As a consumer, speaking from the Gabe Newell piracy perspective here. People complaining on Reddit. That never happened. He only showed like 10 examples. Even like zoomed out and showed them all. And it wasn't even 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. He showed 8 examples.
But now Crunchyroll has...
What were they? Let's have a look. Let's go one by one. I'm sure they're great and substantive. I mean, obviously Crunchyroll's not going to be perfect. It just has to be good enough, right? I can't enable subtitles in the same language as the dubbing. Okay. Android app not playing. Okay. Do you think this is like a universal thing? It's just like not working for anyone? Or you think this one person somehow has an issue with their thing? Because, you know, I think that's probably more likely. Quality downgrade on Amazon Prime. What does that even mean? So I finally got Crunchyroll via Amazon Prime, and I have 2 questions. Is there a way to log into the Crunchyroll app with your app? Okay. Android app won't play episode 2 of anything. It looks like the Android app might have issues. Okay. Dubs don't match video. I'm watching through Dragon Ball Z with my son, and some of the audio is for a different episode altogether. That's pretty funny if that's the case. Someone's angry. Why is Dr. Stone and Mashal only being available in English? This is oh god. Am I the only one? Hello from Europe, Germany. Since Monday, it is impossible to watch Crunchyroll on TV. Episodes of videos of any anime just hang up and stop. Drop in quality lag. I already made ... Death Note episode 12 onwards. I'm in the UK and struggling to watch Death Note episode 12 onwards using Amazon. I don't know. Okay. People complaining on Reddit. An idiot? Yes, I think so. But you know what? I don't know much about this guy. Maybe otherwise he's really smart, but on this take, I think he has a very bad take. And I just don't know how you could possibly... Okay, you can make a good video on this, right? Like portraying the positives and the negatives, right? Obviously, it's undeniable if they're like underpaying their workers and, you know, they're not doing their best to negotiate for the best, like, content on their service or whatever. Like, I can understand. It's like a negative argument against Crunchyroll. But like, that would be one part of a good video. You wouldn't just make that your entire thing when the whole point of this is like explaining this or arguing against this Gabe Newell thing and not arguing with it at all in any substantial way. It's just, yeah, it's bafflingly dumb, I guess. These people are so scared to just say they don't want to pay to watch anime. Yeah, that's also like true. Like, I would understand that, right? Or even like what all you'd need to do to convince me, and I'd be perfectly fine with this, and I don't know, I could just be ill-informed, show the ways in which that 9 Anime or whatever provides a superior service, like to an end user, to someone like me. If I were to go to Crunchyroll, what is it that's like inferior to that service compared to like a 9 Anime? And I'm sure there's a good convincing... I've never used 9 Anime, so I have no idea. Like what are the benefits? Like, that would be a good video, but why would you do this? I don't understand. I agree with this. With what, the video? I sure hope not. Chibi Reviews and Nicholas Light agree with him. Oh, wow. He's got the true intellectuals on his side. This is great. No one's getting paid to translate for pirate sites. I mean, I wouldn't be that shocked if there's like some agreement between the sites and like fan subbing groups or something. I could imagine it. It doesn't sound like too much of a stretch. I was a joker. You know, 99% of subs on pirate sites is just... I don't know anything about piracy, but it doesn't sound that crazy to me, right? It would be in the best interest of the people making money from the piracy site to actually get good translations, right? And it wouldn't be like that expensive. I don't know, but sure, I now know that you're joking. Puni Baba is here saying, hey Ari, so hello. 9 Anime and the lot are infested with layers of ads, unusable without an ad blocker. True, but ad blockers are good and they're moral and everything. That's probably what they'd argue, right? I don't know. What's going on? Oh, you know, we're just watching a video about how Crunchyroll provides an inferior service to piracy. Crunchyroll doesn't provide any pop-up MILF ads. 9 Anime always does, or did. Damn. Is the website already gone? I guess he said that it had the message at the beginning or whatever. Did you find a place? Not yet. It is a weekend, you know, all the real estates are closed today. Real anime fans watch episodes live without subs on Tokyo TV. That would be sick. You know what real fans do? They go to the Discord server for Mushoku Tensei and they watch the Asian release or whatever. Any something Asia. And it's on YouTube, just live streamed. It's crazy. Imagine if they live streamed anime on YouTube. That would be so good. My goodness. Why doesn't YouTube like... No. It doesn't make sense. I was gonna say, why don't they put like $1 billion and just like buy Crunchyroll and like integrate it with YouTube? I feel like there's a lot of potential market there, you know? Like anime is very popular, YouTube is very popular. YouTube has like the best video interface of anything ever. I feel like it's just like a win-win, you know? But what do I know about businesses? Real anime fan. Oh, you read that already. Did you apply? Not yet. I think, oh yeah, Muse Asia, that's right. Twitch Watchers Anime was an insanely cool event. I've heard of the name. I don't actually know what that is. I assume that's when Twitch like partnered with Crunchyroll or something, or like some anime thing. I don't know. Crazy. Did you guys see that was Ludwig? Oh my god. All right. Well, I'm surprised no one was on the side of that video. I thought at least one of you would be like, Ari, you were too harsh by calling him an idiot. Okay, maybe he makes some good points, you know? Muse Asia was literally live streaming all of One Punch Man season 1 and 2. I assume that's like an official thing. Like Muse Anime? I feel like it has to be, because otherwise they wouldn't, the Discord would get banned, right? For piracy, the Mushoku Tensei Discord. I also don't know what this is. Crunchyroll partnered with Twitch. Yeah, and live stream some series. That's pretty cool. I like that. Latest MHA was cool. That is true. I haven't seen it, but I read a Reddit post about it, and it sounded exciting. They're up to a good stuff at the moment. Yes, official. Well, thank God for that. We aren't going to watch the rest? No, we're not. Okay. You know what? We probably should watch the rest. You know, I was a bit mean to him. Maybe he wraps it up in the end, you know? Let's just finish it off. Oh my God, I can't even open them again. Asratha. Wait, I can just get the link. Let's give him a chance, okay? I'm sure he'll wrap it all together in the end. What was I up to? Like here somewhere.
So while companies like to pretend that piracy is a new sweeping issue of the internet era, it's the same thing that has always been the case for this medium. Now, I would be remiss to not include the fact that we don't actually know for sure if Anywave was hit with a cease and desist. If you look at the posts made by the Anywave moderation staff here, they weren't told why the site was shut down and have almost no contact with the admins or the staff. My personal speculation is that them pimping out these legal paid sites here at the end of their goodbye message kind of sends a clear sign that they were shut down, but again, that's just my speculation, and we don't actually know for sure what happened until we find legal documents or someone speaks out. There is also speculation that this Manga Plus survey right here by Shueisha is partly responsible because, as you can see, they ask how often you read on pirate sites if you would be willing to list the pirate sites. While I'm sure this didn't help, it's not as if Anywave is a massive name in the anime piracy industry, and also this survey started just last week and isn't even over yet. I don't think there's any relation. What's more likely is that the ACE
is that a thing going around? Do people just think that's the reason?
Is partly responsible, or the Alliance for Creativity and Entertainment, a coalition of 30 companies aimed at protecting copyright. And as you can see, I had to take a screenshot of the Wikipedia page because when I opened it for this video, it was already vandalized. You know, is a garbage coalition. The stated mission of ACE is to ruin anime watchers' lives.
I guess it is also kind of silly to, I mean, in my perspective, it's silly to take down these websites because of the Gabe Newell quote here, right? Like, if Crunchyroll was better, like, most people are probably, like, the average viewer who doesn't really care about, like, pursuing piracy, like, means, they probably will just watch it on Crunchyroll. Like, the people who truly care about piracy are just going to find another website to download it from, right? I don't know.
Its members, it's got some extras like garbage coalition. The stated mission of ACE is to ruin anime watchers' lives.
Huh? Wait, what? Did they really? This can't be right. Did they really vandalize the Wikipedia page? Alliance for Creativity and Entertainment. When did this video come out? I guess just he had a screenshot here, right? Yeah, Imgur. How do you say this actually? Imgur? Imgur? How do you revert to a page like this, right? The stated mission is to prevent... No, I don't know. Maybe not. Or is it just... It can't be fake, right? Yeah, I don't know.
And if you scroll down, you can see that among its members, it's got some extremely relevant companies. You have Aniplex, Sony, Crunchyroll, Amazon, Hulu, Netflix, and a lot of others. And if you look through subpoena records, you'll find that a subpoena was filed to Tonic Domains.
I'm curious, did this guy look this up or did he see this on Reddit? That's pretty crazy.
Corporation by the Motion Picture Association, a company that supported the launch of the prior mentioned ACE. And this was filed on September 7th, 2023, and the subpoena implores them to hand over information to identify the alleged infringers of certain copyrighted materials. If you are unaware, the Tonic Domains Corporation is a company that sells the very popular .to domain, the one used for like half of pirate sites nowadays, including places like Anywave. .to is the domain for the nation of Tonga, and this company exists in California, thus was under US jurisdiction when it came to copyright infringement. Because of this, you can actually find a shit ton of subpoenas towards them from the Motion Picture Association. If you just look at the California filings here, there are a ton of subpoenas here. And let's just think of all the resources going into gathering the personal information of the people who run these sites to take them down instead of, like, making your site not suck asshole. All you can really do is sit back and agree with the message sent by Gabe Newell all those years ago, that if you want to stop piracy, you should divert resources to make your platform better rather than take out the competition. And while this will be a bump in the road to a lot of pirates, it's probably not even going to change anything, so all this money is being spent on nothing but ruining people's lives. I'm sure a lot of you guys use pirate sites, and I'm also sure that there's a reason for that. If you had ever used a site like Anywave in the past, feel free to leave a comment explaining why you use that over something like Crunchyroll or HiDive, so we can really send home the issue with services in the industry that is notable for lacking it. That's about all I have to say, though. I just wanted to report on the takedowns, give my perspective, and explain why the legal sites aren't cutting it. Thank you.
What would people actually say? They would just say because it's free, right? There's no one out there who's like, oh, I mean, there's probably some people, very few, who are like, oh, you know, Crunchyroll, their work conditions. I heard a article or something. Oh, we don't like them. They load faster. That's shocking to me if that's true, because to me, Crunchyroll loads instantly. They have play speed options. I guess some people like their play speed options. They have comment sections. That's a pretty okay one if you care about comment sections. They have watch together features. Is that true? What does that even mean? Because this is like kind of interesting. I wonder how they do that. But that's an interesting one. I could imagine Crunchyroll trying something like that. They have shows that paid sites don't. Okay. No region restrictions. That's another kind of minor interesting point. Animators don't get paid either way. So it's okay then. See, this comment was significantly more informed, more intelligent, and more worthwhile than this entire video. This is what I wanted in the video. So, thank you, random commenter who made a way more worthwhile video than, or comment than this entire video. Anyway. By the way, Ari, I have a video about piracy. So we got 2 videos here. We got this one. 7 minutes. We love it. We love 7-minute videos.
Do you remember?
And we got Chibi reviews. Massive failure for Sony that forces them to shut down Concord. Oh yeah, I heard about this game. This is like a woke game or something, right? That's what Tyrone Magnus told me. And then we got this one. Jonathan Blow on piracy and DRM. God damn, do I hate DRM. My goodness. You should react to it. I mean, only benefits to pirate sites is that you can find unlicensed shows in your region, and he didn't bring that up. Yeah, that's like a reasonable benefit. Like for me, it was so annoying having to buy Madoka Magica, right? Because it wasn't available on Crunchyroll in Australia. It's annoying. Like, I get it. Like, that's one which is pretty reasonable. The video is about games piracy, but I think it's still relevant. True. I am a gamer after all, you know, so I can relate to this. Have I ever pirated a game? I guess it depends if you count emulation as like piracy. I guess that would be piracy, right? But what if you own the original game and you buy like or you like get an emulated version? Is that piracy? I guess, bro. I don't know. Why would a manga survey affect an anime site? Right? Because Japan, I don't know. Anime and manga fans don't care about quality. Do you see how many likes the JJK leaks got on Twitter? That's probably true. Like, I think the Gabe Newell quote doesn't apply to most anime manga fans. Like, gamers care about graphics and frame rate and shit, but anime fans 2x speed shit and read terrible manga scans. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know much about the broader community. Those people are probably fringe, but then again, that one JJK Twitter account was probably, apparently, one of the most active accounts in that 1 month. Anyway, let's see.
Let's talk about piracy.
Okay.
How have you been affected?
Well, I don't really know, right? If you ask, like, how much money would the game make with or without piracy? There's no anti-piracy measures. We put it up DRM.
Wait, is this a video or is this a... okay, it looks like an excerpt from something.
Free on the first day. And then even Steam is sort of DRM'd, but not really. You can get around it pretty easily. And we sold very well. Like, we're a financially successful game. But, of course, we were also on pirate sites, like, bam, immediately, with a lot of downloads. And I didn't measure it, but in general, when PC games measure the level of piracy, it's generally between 85 and 95%, depending on the game and the way that they measured it, right? Which means that almost nobody who plays your game on the PC paid for it.
85% piracy? Would this be before Steam came out, or was this after? Because, like, that's really interesting. I feel like that can't be the case. But then that's just like, maybe that's just like my anecdotal bubble where, like, no, I don't know any of my, I mean, maybe I have a few friends, but like the overwhelming majority of my friends just like buy the games on Steam. This is like way easier. Like, it stays up to date. Like, you can play online without any hassles. Like, it's just easier. Like, I can at least understand for pirating TV shows, it's like almost just as easy to just like go to a website that has them streamed. But to like have to install a game, trust that it's like not a virus, then like if updates come out and you're like not up to date, it seems like much more of a hassle. How can 90% of people do that? That's like insane to me. But maybe I missed it. Maybe at the beginning he said like before Steam.
Let's talk about piracy.
Okay.
How have you been affected?
Well, I don't really know, right? If you ask, like, how much money would the game make with or without piracy? There's no anti-piracy measures. We put it up DRM free on the first day. And then even Steam is sort of DRM'd, but not really. You can get around it pretty easily.
So I was mentioning Steam.
And we sold very well. Like, we're a financially successful game. But, of course, we were also on pirate sites, like, bam, immediately, with a lot of downloads. And I didn't measure it, but in general, when PC games measure the level of piracy, it's generally between 85 and 95%, depending on the game and the way that they measured it, right?
I just can't, how's that possible? That doesn't make any sense to me. How is that possible?
Which means that almost nobody who plays your game on the PC paid for it. And that's just the reality of how it is. But the people who do pay for it is enough people, hopefully, to keep you in business. However, for many indie developers, that's not true. They don't stay in business. But then would they stay in business if people didn't pirate their game, or would those people just have not bought it? I don't know. But here's the thing I like to point out to people, right? Because I'm not really anti-piracy. I'm not really pro-piracy. I pirated stuff when I was a kid because I didn't feel like I had a choice. You know, my mom wouldn't really buy video games for me. I actually, one time in like a Walden Books or something, I stole a...
That's so, I can't get over it. That's so crazy to me. That would like, that statistic would like change a lot of my thoughts on piracy if that's true. Like how could people go to so much effort to, like, for so many people? How could so many people do that? Like, what were the Elden Ring sales numbers? Maybe it's less so for like popular games, but if 25 million is like is 85%, no, sorry, is 15%. You're telling me that Elden Ring actually had 166 million people playing it? Like, there's 166 million people for Elden Ring? That's crazy to me. I feel like that just can't be the case. Oh, did you see Hector? Who the hell's Hector? Hector farmed a 13-minute Glepnir on Lifeweaver. I don't know who Hector is. I don't know what Glepnir is, and I have no idea what Lifeweaver is. So no, absolutely not. No, I did not figure that out. My apologies, I guess. He mentioned Steam already. True, we did go back and see that. I had no opinion. I don't believe this. I had no idea. I also don't believe this. But I mean, he sounds... I don't know who this is, but you know, he made a game, so he would know, right? I know like one guy who pirates PC games. Yeah, like it's so much more effort than just pirating TV shows. There's reliable and famous piracy sites. It's just so weird. It's so weird to me because like I feel like I watch a lot of TV shows, and I know there's a lot of websites out there for piracy, right? Obviously I know you can even do like torrent sites like Pirate Bay, whatever. There's like a million out there. Well, these days I guess there's way more popular ones than that, but there's so many, and I've known them growing up. I can like, I'm sure they still exist, but for gaming, I feel like I'm not actually like a really hardcore gamer. But if there's like a spectrum of gamers from like 0% gamer to like 100% core gamer, I'm probably like a 70%. Like I would definitely, to an average person, I'm way more of a gamer than the average person. And I've never even like, I've never really even considered piracy for gaming. Because it's like just so much more effort. And I can't imagine if I'm like on the, like, I'm way more than an average person in terms of gaming, then how would the average person have enough interest in gaming to pirate it? Like, to put more effort into it? It's just crazy to me. Yeah, anyway, I don't know. Look up Fit Girl. Oh boy. Maybe I should look that up here. What is that? Fit Girl. Some website? FitGirl Repacks is a website distributing piracy games. Pirated video games. FitGirl Repacks is known for repacking games, compressing them significantly so they can be downloaded and shared more efficiently. Okay, history. This is a very tiny article, but isn't that like the Steam logo? Am I crazy? Oh no, it's like similar, but not at all. Anyway, I guess we can keep watching. He's a famous game dev and programmer. Yeah, I'm in the same boat as you, Arya. I can only name off some emulation sites. Never heard of the big piracy sites. Yeah, but emulation sites, I can attest to that at least, yeah. And like the multiplayer and friends feature on Steam are so good. Steam is just generally a very good service. A very easy service to access basically anything.
Physical copy of Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego from the store. And it wasn't even a good game.
I think the statute of limitations is probably more.
Yeah.
I did some bad stuff when I was a kid.
You told me earlier that you were a pathological liar for a while.
A little bit, yeah.
Oh my god, maybe he's lying about this statistic. That's crazy.
That was not good.
But you don't do that anymore, right?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
But what I like to, 85%, 95% piracy, what does that mean? Because not all pirates are going to buy the game, obviously, right? But if 10% of pirates bought the game,
your revenue on the PC
would almost double. Yeah, it's close to double, which would be amazing. That would keep so many more developers in business. So it's not ridiculous to presume that 10% of people who pirate something might have bought it if they couldn't pirate it. And so it's just...
Well, how do you know that? How do you possibly know that? Maybe it's like 0.5%. Like how would you possibly know that it's like not reasonable? It's like the same thing when it comes to the Fermi paradox, or like when it comes to detecting alien life out there. There's like the Drake equation, right? Where people are like, it's so obvious that there has to be aliens out there. Because like all of these factors, people just have like numbers they pull out of nowhere for these things. And they're like, the mean number of planets that could support life per star. No, what is it? What's the one I'm thinking of? It's the, where is it? No, not that. Mean rate of star formation, fractions of stars that are planets, mean number of stars that could support life, fractions of life supporting planets, fractional planets with life where life develops intelligence, fractions of intelligence. I think it's this one where it's like fractions of life supporting planets that develop life. For this, you have to know the probability of life developing. And how could you possibly know that? Like you can make estimates, but how could you possibly know what the estimates are? It's never made any sense to me. And it's similar here, where it's like, how could you possibly know that 10% is a reasonable number? It could be 90%, it could be 0.1%, right? And it might just be completely different for different audiences and different games. Like it might just be like a mobile game. Maybe like no one would actually pirate it. And if the people did pirate it, they would never have actually got the game. Because it's just so much more effort to pirate a mobile game. But maybe like a Steam game or something, if people pirate it, then maybe, yeah, because Steam is like much more accessible, maybe people would have like bought it even if they did pirate it. I don't know. It's crazy. But anyway.
Pirate it. And so it's just, But all this said, so all this is true, and I run a business, and I should be very concerned
if not
with
indignant.
that. Yeah, well, I'm, a little bit. But in reality, I don't want my mind to be there very often, because your mind can only, or my mind can only be so many places at once, and I prefer to live in the ethereal design realm where the ideas are beautiful and I'm discovering
things.
things.
Sky Lounge, right, overlooking the island.
Sure.
Watching the people screw up the speed run for 100 times.
So if I'm sitting there being angry about piracy or something, then I'm not going to have nice game design ideas, or even just forget mood or anything. Just opportunity cost. How do you spend your time? What are you thinking about, right? So I don't think there's that much to say there. I mean, piracy is what it is. You kind of have to deal with it.
Wait, is this the YouTuber now, or is this like a clip? I don't know. There's a reason Rockstar won't be releasing GTA 6 on PC until like a year after consoles. Because of piracy? Or is this gonna like prevent piracy or something? I don't know, I guess. Or you mean like because they'd make more money because like people would buy it twice. They'll like buy it initially on consoles and then, or is it because of agreements with like PlayStation? Or whatever, like maybe they have exclusivity payments or something. I don't know.
I wish we lived in a world where it wasn't such a big problem, but the solutions are also really bad. Like if you lock your game down with DRM that's nasty, you're inevitably going to make the game not work for people who actually bought it. And so then you start talking about acceptable losses, like how many actual people am I going to make the game not work for in order to prevent pirates from having it under some vague theory that maybe I'll sell more of my copies of my game to people who would have pirated, which nobody has good numbers for anyway, right? And I think there's an ethical issue there. As an engineer, I think that we should have some kind of code of ethics for computer scientists, and we don't. But what that code of ethics should say is something about respecting the time of the people who use your software and respecting their quality of life, which is absolutely not done in software almost ever right now. Especially understanding the branching factor of when you make something that's inconvenient or that people have to fiddle with to get working, and then you release that out to 1 million people. If it takes 20 minutes to get it working, you've wasted 20 million minutes of people's life, right? That is an ethical issue. If you could have avoided that by doing, let's say it took you 100 hours of work to fix that. That's way less than 20 million minutes. I don't know how many hours 20 million minutes is, right? It's hundreds of thousands of hours, right? Wait. True. Anyway, it's a lot of hours. It's more than a couple hundred hours. So that's an issue. And so then bringing that back to DRM, right? Software is terrible today already. If you try as hard as possible, like on PC, we tried as hard as we could to make the game work for as many people as possible. We ran it daily on a dozen or more machines in our office with different configurations for 7 years, and you release it into the world and it has all these problems, right? How many more problems is it okay to add? It already doesn't work, right? It's already a pile of garbage. So you've got to clean up the pile of garbage. You shouldn't be thinking about making more garbage, right? Especially intentionally making more garbage, which is what DRM is. DRM is putting more ways in for your thing to fail. That is what it is. That's what it's designed for. And that's a problem. On the other hand, we may end up in a world where if you don't do that, nobody will ever buy your thing, and then you can't ever build games anymore that aren't things that somebody does in their spare time, right? I think, like I said, we had a rather big team working on The Witness. You know, there's 3D artists, there's architects, there's programmers, there's sound design people. It's just a lot of people. And if you can't bring all those people together for years to work on something in concert by paying them, then you can't make things of this scope. It just won't happen. You might still have games, but it's like, it's maybe whatever I could make in my spare time while I'm working a job at an advertising funded website or whatever, right? So if people like ambitious games, then we need to do something. Maybe not. Maybe we don't need to do anything. I don't want to be alarmist, right? Maybe it's fine. But it's just, it's complicated. I don't know what the right answer is, actually.
When was this, I wonder? 2016. Was this also 2016? What was 8 years ago? Oh yeah, 2016. Blue said during last week's Twitch Q&A session, that's not really true. There's always a little bit of truth to anything, but if you think about it, piracy rates for PC games are often 85 to 90%. That's true. If 10%, yeah, blah, 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 we get that. What was the question? Piracy rates for PC games are often 85 to 90% in 2016. Issue, whether personal... What is this? Issue, whether personal computer games are being pirated between 85 to 90%. Evidence. Global personal software piracy rate is measured at 38% in 2007, 41% in 2008, 43% in 2009, 42% in 2011 by BSA and IDC Global Software Piracy Study. Piracy rate... I feel like... Alright, no, wait, we'll get to it. Piracy rate was high for consumer software such as PC games and currently stands at 57%. A hypothetical calculation by Matt Polyha in 2012 noted that PC game piracy was not anywhere close to the 90% range. Okay, interpretations. Referring to a 2008 survey by the Interactive Entertainment Association of Australia, in which 4 to 10% of all Australian computer game titles are pirated or illegal copies, i.e. copies made by family. Also, this is like 2008 is a completely different era to the modern day. I would absolutely buy that 90% even in early days, like before Steam, for instance. I could absolutely buy that. And similar, even 2011, I could probably buy like a 42% doesn't sound that crazy. But in the modern day with Steam, it's crazy to me to think it's that high. PC games and currently stands at 57%. Also, pirating software is, I think, it is certainly different. Like, there's probably a lot of people out there who just pirate, like, Microsoft Word for, like, school or something, right? Surveyed 15,000 people from 33 countries and asked direct questions on... And also, it's going to depend on the country. Like, the availability of... Oh, I guess that could actually be a big factor, now that I think about it. Like, maybe, for instance, in other countries, Steam is, like... Steam doesn't have... Like, if we're thinking about, like... I don't know, the Philippines or like some country where maybe Steam or even India or something where Steam might not have like, well, I guess Steam is like massive in India, but Steam might just not have a lot of games and piracy in those sites are like really overrepresented. So that 90% figure could come from, I guess, or countries where Steam isn't a really popular thing. I guess that's actually really possible. I didn't even think about that. I wonder how these rates would change, like just in the US, for instance. I feel like they just have to be so much lower. Okay, well, this isn't much of a thing. Interesting. This could be something I'll look into a bit more off stream. Anyway, this was interesting. I mean, this was like kind of interesting, you know, nice little perspective piece. I don't know, not much engagement or interesting engagement. Okay. It's really popular and it would be immediately pirated, but because of its popularity, a lot of people will be willing to pay for it even if they can't pirate it. Let me think. Yeah, maybe. Sounds about right. I don't know. I was gonna think, like, would it make sense from a company's perspective to release something on a console a year earlier so that piracy doesn't happen as much, so that when they release it on the console, on the PC, then the effects of piracy are mitigated because the people who really wanted to play it probably just bought it on the console. I guess that like makes sense, right? I guess the dev must have seen the numbers for his own game, have that percentage of piracy and extrapolated it to the industry. He said he didn't look into it though, so that's not the case.
To keep you in business. However, for many indie developers, that's not true. They don't stay in business, but then would they stay in business if you buy video games for me? I actually, one time in like a Walden.
I think the statute of limitations is probably more.
Yeah.
Wait, when did we talk about it?
I don't think so. Yeah. But what I like, 85%, 95% piracy. What does that mean? Because not all pirates are gonna.
Wait, no, that's not what I wanted.
In general, when PC games measure the level of piracy, it's generally between 85 and 95%, depending on the game and the way that they measured it, right? Which means that almost nobody who plays your game on the PC paid for it. And that's just the reality of how it is. But the people who do pay for it is enough people, hopefully, to keep you in business. However, for many indie developers, that's not true. They don't stay in business, but then would they stay in business if people didn't pirate their game, or would those people just have not bought it? I don't know. But here's the thing I like to point out to people, right? Because I'm not really anti-piracy. I'm not really pro-piracy. I pirated stuff when I was a kid because I didn't feel like I had a choice.
Am I crazy? Did I just like? I'm pretty sure he said that, right? That he didn't.
My mom wouldn't really buy video games for me. I actually, one time in like a Walden Books or something, I stole a physical copy of Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego from the store, and it wasn't even a good game. Stuff when I was a kid.
You told me earlier that you were a pathological liar for a while.
A little bit, yeah. Percent of pirates bought the game.
Your revenue on the PC
would almost double. Yeah, it's close to double, which would be amazing. That would keep so many more developers in business. So it's not ridiculous to presume that 10% of people who pirate something might have bought it if they couldn't pirate it. And so it's just, But all this said, so all this is true, and I run a business, and I should be very concerned
if not
with
indignant.
that. Yeah, well, I'm a little bit, but in reality, I don't want my mind to be there very often because your mind can only, or my mind can only be so many places at once, and I prefer to live in the ethereal design realm where the ideas are beautiful and I'm discovering
things. Up in the
things.
Sky Lounge, right, overlooking the island.
Sure.
Watching the people screw up the speed run for 100 times.
So if I'm sitting there being angry about piracy or something, then I'm not going to have nice game design ideas, or even just forget mood or anything, just opportunity cost. How do you spend your time? What are you thinking about, right? So I don't think.
Let's talk about piracy.
Okay.
How have you been affected?
Well, I don't really know, right? If you ask, like, how much money would the game make with or without piracy? There's no anti-piracy measures. We put it up DRM free on the first day, and then even Steam is sort of DRM'd, but not really. You can get around it pretty easily. And we sold very well, like we're a financially successful game. But of course, we were also on pirate sites, like bam, immediately with a lot of downloads. And I didn't measure it, but in general.
Okay, I didn't measure it. Okay, that's what I was looking for. Okay, so I don't think he would have based it on his experience, but maybe he might have. Are you excited for Space Marine 2 tomorrow? No, I'm not. But you know what? Critical, I think, made a video about it, or someone did, and I was like, oh, it's a really popular game apparently. I'd imagine piracy rates dropped hugely once Office 365 launched. Yeah, probably, actually. That's a good point. Same with, like, Windows piracy, for instance. With, like, now the OS is free, then, like, why would you... I mean, there's, like, some benefits. You could probably get, like, an enterprise version or something. You could pirate that, but, like, why would anyone do it these days, you know? Doubt it, because people in those countries probably don't have the hardware to run AAA games in consideration. Maybe, yeah. There's a reason free esports and MOBAs, that's also true, yeah, are big in those countries. Even if Steam has games, often games aren't price adjusted. $60 is very different for American versus Indian. Well, you know, I guess my experience in India was that Steam games were unbelievably cheap. It was insane. Like, I went out of my way to make sure that I could, like, because I opened a bank account when I was in India, and I was like lucky enough to actually link it to my Steam account. And my God, I got so many games. They were so cheap. It was like, I know it's like, sounds ridiculous, but I bought like Octodad, and it was like 8 cents or something at the time. I was like, Jesus Christ. So yeah, I don't know. Steam, that was like the big thing I was shocked by when I was there, just how cheap things were in India for Steam specifically. And how the other thing I was shocked by is that there was anime on Netflix. But I mean, I guess that's more of a common thing these days. But anyway, what was I up to? Wait, $60, yeah, okay. I live and die by the activate Windows, go to the settings to activate Windows. True. I used to have that. What happened to that? Does that just like go away eventually? Or did they like get rid of it? Or maybe I have like a student version now? I don't even know. Well, I am Indian, so... Oh, yes. Wait, am I wrong or am I mean, I'm not lying. That was definitely the case. But maybe it's not like that everywhere in India? I don't know. Most AAA games don't have that kind of prices. Oh, okay. Maybe it was just like the smaller games like that. Interesting. In larger parts of Asia, anime is via Netflix. That's why we love Netflix. It's great. We love anime, we love Netflix. It all comes together. Okay. Well, this was cool. We got one more. Then I'm going to end this, okay? It's very late. I got to sleep. Actually, I can't even watch this. It is very late. I do have to actually sleep very soon. Okay. Developers have an option to have variable regional pricing, and most devs don't. Unbelievable. We hate the developers. I wonder what the incentive is to like turn that off. Because like then it feels like people aren't going to buy it, right? If you don't do the regional pricing. But then you're going to introduce people who will like change their Steam accounts to like that country to get cheaper games or whatever. But I don't know. It's probably a trade-off. They probably do the calculation somehow. True. Anyway, I gotta go. Who knows when I'll stream next? Not tomorrow. Probably not tomorrow. Maybe the next... No, not the next day. I'm out the next day. No, I'm not out the next day. I don't know. We'll see. Soon, I'm sure. But thanks for coming. See you next time. And I'll adjust the volume and it'll be louder next time. I'm sure it'll be perfect. Oh my gosh.